everybody. It is April the 13th, and this is not our normal episode.
No.
So we had some audio difficulties. We're going to record our normal episode, and that put us behind schedule by about an hour and a half, 2 hours, three. Oh, going on 3 hours.
Yeah, going on 3 hours.
7.
So
Yeah.
we're punting.
Yeah.
We plan to cover the Comic Con. Was it Huntsville? What's it called?
Huntsville Comic Pop Culture Expo.
Okay,
think
that was
that's
last weekend.
Yes.
And
Friday,
Total
Saturday,
Nostalgia was
Sunday.
there all 3 days of the week, all 3 days of the
Yes.
weekend. Okay.
Yes.
So what we're going to do is kind of a wrap up and review of that. We'll get together later this week and record our normal episode. This is going to be a little short one, and we're just con focused.
Hiccups.
Yep.
All
just
right.
con.
Yep, just kind of.
Okay.
Just kind.
So me and Renee were there on Friday.
Yes.
I was there Thursday.
You were setting up Thursday, right?
Sure
y'all were
was.
setting up Thursday.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Me and
was
Renee
all
were there
4
Friday,
days.
and then y'all were both there Saturday and Sunday.
And
Yes.
Sunday. Yes, sir.
Okay, so I got to go since I got in on Phillips vendor badge. I got to go around before everybody was let in for general population and snipe some stuff.
Yep.
That
So
was
I
your
got
first con?
no. I went to that one last year actually.
Yeah, but
You
it
know
really
that.
wasn't a con last year.
Yeah, but I don't go to cons for cons. You could not have a con. I go for what is a dealer room at any other con. I go to buy stuff. I don't care who's there.
Yeah.
I don't. And a celebrity at a convention makes me little to no difference. So I'm just there to buy stuff that I can't walk into another store and see.
What did you
regularly.
like? The selection they had? Or you
Uh,
thought there could have been more people with toys?
Yeah, there can always be.
Yeah.
But I will say, cause of COVID and everything, they were a little restricted last year. It was much better this year.
Oh,
I spent
yeah.
I didn't spend hardly anything last year, but I spent a bunch more this year and found a lot of stuff that I was interested in. So I
there
was well
probably
happy with it.
Triple the people.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easily triple.
Yeah. Like I'm not coming. Like there were some amazing artists there. I don't usually buy that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I was real tempted. There was one guy, I can't remember his name. I got his card or whatever. I talked to his wife. I was real tempted to get some of his stuff, and maybe I'll check in in the future, whatever.
Now
but
that, what's his name? De La Rosa? The guy that did Venom, like Lethal Protector and all that?
yeah,
Hancock bought one, so he had the Lethal Protector comic, and he, like, drew up Carnage.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Over the thing. It's pretty
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
pretty neat. Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
There was
80
some.
bucks,
Yeah.
but-
Well, I mean, hey, that's a one-off
that's
kind of
what you
piece,
like.
ain't it? Right?
Yeah.
Or
Well, I mean,
was that a print that he duplicated?
No, it's a...
Yeah.
Technically, I guess you gotta say it's original artwork.
I
Yeah.
mean, you could have sent that in to the grading company there too, and they could have.
Hancock said he's
Send it
gonna
off.
grade his.
He should have sent it while he
Well,
was there.
because that was CBCS, whatever it is, and a lot of people don't
it was
like
two
that.
different ones that
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
there.
no, it was just one.
You
There was
sure?
JSA was there authenticating
Okay,
autographs.
authenticating. Yeah.
Oh,
And then
okay.
there was CBCS, I believe is how you say it.
Yeah.
I think
that
so.
was sending off comments to be graded.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And most people won't CGC.
Well, and that's
Yeah.
I was talking to Justin about. He said he had a first appearance Miles, and he was talking about like, if I'm going to get one graded, probably CGC on that one.
Yeah.
You
I
know.
would do it on any of them.
We've
I
got a
wouldn't even
ton
send
to
I
CBC.
send
wouldn't
in
either.
ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a bunch to send off.
All right. So what were the highlights from Thursday? There wasn't a ton of celebrities there. I don't guess. Were there any
No,
panels?
No.
Thursday there wasn't anybody
I'm
there.
sorry, not
Yeah,
Thursday. Friday's what I
Friday.
meant. Friday's what I meant.
Friday there was a bunch of people that didn't show up.
Yeah.
Friday for scheduling conflicts and flights and stuff like that. There were panels during the day.
I know. I heard them announce a couple panels, and I'd see a group of people run to line
Yeah.
up for it or whatever.
Yep.
Most of the time on a Friday, if they're going to do a panel, it's not going to be the...
Yeah, it'll be like your
No.
starter
Cream.
panels.
That's exactly right. Right. So that wasn't today, but there were some people in costume that were pretty
Oh, yeah.
impressive. There was a John
There's some
Walker.
cool one.
Yeah, there was a John Walker Captain America.
Yep.
How he found the time to get this sucker put together as good as it was. I mean, it was pretty accurate. And the lady that was walking around with him was his girlfriend, wife, I don't know, or friend.
Mm-hmm.
She was in a Captain Marvel costume. It was pretty nice too.
Yeah.
Like they probably had the highest quality costumes, I would say,
Yeah, it
of
wasn't
the
just
ones
the
that I saw.
spandex that you buy from
Right.
Spirit Halloween.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It's the T-shirt that it's like I'm Captain Marvel.
It's a
No.
onesie that zips up.
Yeah, this guy had the pads, the zippers,
Yeah,
the
shield.
yeah. I mean, he was dead on, pretty close. I'm pretty sure he had a real gun. I'm not 100% sure. Sure looked like a real gun. I don't know.
Well,
You showed me that picture.
It
Yeah.
was zip tied.
That's
where
what
the
I
trigger
mean.
was. It had an
That's-
orange zip tie on it.
And I don't know why. And I mean, yeah, unless they were just doing that to anything that looked like that resembled a real
weren't.
gun.
They were
yeah,
probably doing that for security, just
Right.
to say this is not a
No.
weapon,
Right.
maybe.
I saw other people there that had, like, fake guns.
Well, they were selling fake guns that didn't have that
And
stuff
there
applied
was
to
nothing
it.
like that.
There were
That-
people selling guns that
Oh,
were
no,
modeled
man.
after real
Might have
world
been a real
weaponry.
one.
Maybe.
I didn't see him in real life. I
The
saw
only
the picture.
the only. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go
And
ahead.
that looked like the safety thing that comes when you buy a pistol.
Yeah.
The little
It's
lock
still
you
on
put in
it.
it, and
What
the
a-
thing you put in the barrel.
What originally made me think that was when he was turned in a side profile. The handle was hollow for receiving a clip
Yeah.
or a magazine. If people
He
say
probably brought a real
a clip's what you put in a little girl's hair. It's a clip, whatever. But it's a magazine or whatever. It was hollow, so I assume, I'm surely there's probably metal airsoft guns that load like a clip.
No, they are
you know,
airsoft guns that look.
It
pretty,
may have not
pretty
been.
spot on. That
It
take
was
a-
close enough. That it
Yeah.
was real nice.
Take a clip. 'Cause,
Yeah.
when I first moved out, when I was 18,
Yeah.
me and 3 buddies got a house together.
Yeah.
We had some epic
Oh
airsoft
my
wars
God.
in that house.
In the house.
In the house.
How'd the sheetrock fare?
Oh, it did not fare.
Yeah.
Actually,
That's
the
why-
guy
They didn't
who
get that deposit back.
No.
well, the guy that we moved in with, his name was Corey Todd, and his dad owned the house.
Yeah.
And then we all moved out, and then a few years later, Corey moved back into that house, and he had to redo everything.
Of
pretty
course
much.
you do. Yeah.
There was little bitty little spots. In there,
Anybody.
but we had flipped the sofas up. We even had people do drive-bys on us
Oh
with
my
airsoft
God.
guns.
Man.
It was epic.
Yeah,
It was
that
fun.
sounds like fun.
Oh, it
and
was
and yeah,
loads
if
of
you can
fun.
talk somebody into renting you a house at 18 with some of
Yeah.
your friends,
Yeah.
by all means do that.
If your
Oh,
dad
so-
owns it,
Yeah,
it's pretty easy.
yeah. You don't find rubes like that very often. They'll just
No.
turn the house loose to some
No.
teenagers.
You really
That's
probably don't.
crazy.
Yeah.
Because I always thought
Live
that
and
when
learn.
I was like, man, houses are expensive, but if me and 2 or 3 like-minded people got together, like we could split a house payment, and we'd all have some extra money or whatever. But
Oh,
then I got
yeah.
to think, it's like nobody's dumb enough to do that.
The rent was cheap.
Yeah,
Like,
it would
for
have
the-
to
for the-
be.
Yeah, because I mean, it's split between 4 people.
Hey, yeah. And hey, the more people are there, the more fun you're having, and the cheaper the bills are. It's
Yeah.
like it just makes more sense.
Oh, it was fun.
Yeah. All right. So Friday.
Back to that costume though.
Yeah, exactly.
Had not to get on the Falcon Winter Soldier, but had this episode aired, his shield would have looked a lot differently.
Oh,
at the con.
That's a hint.
But
That's
yeah,
a hint.
yeah.
That's a
So-
hint.
So
We will
talk
cover
about that in the next
We'll
That's for
cover that.
another-
We'll
that's for
cover that
another.
later in
Yeah,
the week.
yeah.
Hopefully, we'll
Although
see.
his shield, he had that Marvel Legends shield.
It
that
was.
Don't
It
look
don't
like
match.
the one in the movie.
Nope. The colors are a lot. It's more of a darker crimson.
You know, he
than
had everything
red.
else though.
Yeah.
So
He could have painted that shield.
He could get if he's
If
got
you're gonna
that kind of
spend
money.
that money on an outfit,
yeah, you didn't
make
make
the
shield.
shield
If you're gonna
match.
spend that much money, then find somebody with a machine shop and get a piece of billet
Make your
aluminum
own.
cut down and actually make the thing.
That
Because
would
he
be
did
much
not. Now
cooler.
I'm pretty sure he had the metal one that has the leather straps and
I
everything
think
on
so.
it.
It looked like
It was the higher end one, but still the paint don't match.
Yeah.
You're right.
It's
No,
a lot
It's
brighter.
not the same.
Yeah, they never have. I mean, I don't know why they. And you think Marvel Legends get closer than that, but. So what else? What else Friday was there? Not really much highlights. Like I said, that was the only day that I went. I got everything I wanted, and unless anybody put new stuff out Saturday and Sunday, I
They
just
did.
Every
No,
now and then they do.
They did.
They'll pull
Yeah.
stuff out from like under tables, but
yeah. Or I've cleared through my stock and I had more in the van or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, there's obviously going to be something I missed, but I spent enough on Friday. I probably didn't need to go back. So. And if I went back Saturday, I'd probably be bringing at least one more person with me, whether that was my daughter or my wife and my daughter. And then it's too expensive. Like now, I'm spending the money to get in, and I can't afford to buy
Kids
stuff
get in
too.
free.
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah.
12 and
Well,
under,
12
I think,
and
is
under
free.
get in
Okay,
free.
well, she would have got in free. So
Yeah.
yeah, and Tessa wouldn't want to go anyway. So,
So she would have got in free.
yeah. Do you get in free if you don't want to be there? Like, would they let my wife in free if she's like, look, I don't want to be here. There's no benefit to me.
No.
Just let me in.
They took her $35.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's why it didn't happen.
Well,
So
you missed out.
yeah. Okay. So I think now would be a good time that I'll just splice in the video footage that we agreed you'd take while you were there. The walkthrough of the show floor. Take it away, Phil.
That didn't happen.
Oh, no.
Nobody shot any video footage.
Oh my gosh. So
Sadly,
The
we
only
did,
video
yeah.
footage I shot was on Saturday because I had to run the booth by myself because Renee ended up helping Jace David Frank run his line.
the green and
The
white
green.
Ranger.
Yes.
The very
Ranger.
same. The real
Yep.
one.
Yep, that
I had to
came
set
here.
my phone up at an angle on the Pokemon card so that I'd be like, well, if somebody steals
I would have been
anything-
tempted to take those to the bathroom with me.
Well,
I would.
I set my phone up.
Yeah.
So if anybody would have done anything, I would have seen who it was. I could have went to Jeremy and be like, this person stole my Pokemon card.
Well, we were
Yeah.
also right there by the camera was like,
I was like,
where our booth was, it was
fine.
like
Yeah,
right
that's-
there, so
yeah.
it was like,
Yeah.
Find these people.
Yeah.
They haven't left.
Yeah.
They're still here somewhere.
Yeah.
but yeah, I had to
like,
help him all day
Dan-
Saturday.
How'd you
Yeah.
like that?
I mean, I didn't mind it, but I stood there all day.
So you also
Until
presented
7
them with
o'clock.
some gifts, right?
Yeah.
How'd that go?
They enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So I gave him, I had a girl I graduated with make them cookies that were shaped like Power Rangers and decorated and designed. I do have a picture of that, so you can put that on there.
Okay.
And then I made his assistant Nicole a custom N64 and gave that to her. And it turns out her
excited?
birthday was actually this past Monday.
Yeah?
So it kind of worked out.
Was she excited?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was ready to get home and get some games.
Yeah. So how did they get here this time? I know last time when he came to the store, they rode his motorcycle,
He rode his motorcycle, and she drove.
Okay, they came separate this time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because he had to leave and go to other shows. So he's still doing the Power Ranger protection program. So he's still doing all that.
Okay. Have y'all talked to him about coming back here? Did y'all get to talk to him about coming back here?
Well,
not really. It
he was busy.
Yeah, let's see. So I had to give out tickets to
them
them and ended up giving out like 232 tickets
for
his line of people getting autographs, and that was like groups of people, not individual people.
Yeah.
So we were there till the con ended at 6, and we were all there till 7.
Was he the biggest draw?
Oh yeah,
by far.
I mean,
all day. He had people there all day.
Yeah.
All day.
His line was crazy.
Did you get anything else signed?
No. Well, one thing I didn't know if he's gonna sign it for free, so I didn't know.
Well, you don't want to be like,
Yeah.
I brought all this stuff, and he's like, that's $50 a pop. And you're like, well, maybe not.
Yeah,
I thought we were friends. Yeah, you remember me, right?
So I didn't bring anything.
Yeah,
he did remember me though.
That's
so
cool.
That was good.
Yeah.
And he said a bunch of people that came through the line and mentioned Total Nostalgia too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And he posted the
cookies on his
cookies
page and the 64.
Did he
tagged
mention?
us.
his,
He did
Instagram
mention
stories.
Total. There is some relation back to Total
Yeah,
Nostalgia.
he tagged us.
Okay.
So.
Yep.
We were gonna get him. We were gonna get him to. We thought about maybe getting him to try to shoot an intro, but I wasn't there Saturday, and then I also was just thinking about it. I was like, he probably can't legally do that because next episode after we get him to say
he's endorsing
it's
it.
morphin' time, and then we're like, now white people are the best because he doesn't. Not that we would do that, but I'm just saying he doesn't know what we would use his image for. It's like
it would have to be one of those.
We got the White Ranger on our side.
It had to be one of those. The views expressed in this podcast do not reflect the views.
I mean, yeah. So I mean, that would be an open endorsement for anything we wanted to put after it.
He's not. He don't go through an agency.
Yeah, but he's not.
No,
yeah,
I
but
know what you're just saying.
But he's not.
Him.
Right,
like,
he's
if you
not
said
stupid.
Something they'd be like,
I wouldn't
well,
do that.
He's on that.
Yeah, exactly. If my money was based, if my money was based on my image and me selling that, which is what he's doing.
Yeah.
I'm not endorsing nothing that I don't have some sort of back door on. Like, look, there's a guarantee in here that if this goes sideways,
but he knows
there's
that
legal
we're
ramifications.
good
They do. He does, but
we good people.
Yeah.
But you never know about people either.
And you might sell the name to somebody else. That's
Exactly.
So what name?
Total Nostalgia.
Oh yeah, if somebody.
Whenever we sell out for millions,
and then it turns out they're
you buy a company
neo-Nazis
for
or
millions,
something.
just let us know.
Right? Yeah. I don't know if they buy the podcast. Do I get a third of the millions? I don't know. A none.
None.
I have to rethink my
Need
decision.
a contract.
Contract.
Because technically, if they bought, let's just theoretically hypothesize.
Okay.
If they bought Total Nostalgia, they're not buying it for the podcast.
But does the podcast come with it? If we cannot
have to change the name.
Well, it's its own entity. Yeah, but it's Total Nostalgia Pop Culture Experience.
Look, we got that name trademarked.
Yeah.
So if we sold it, they'd be getting the trademark because that's part of the lure to the business.
Okay, but so if
they change it to Totally Nostalgic.
We just have to change the podcast name, but the podcast.
Yeah, I know, but if they were able to continue on and say that they do the Total Nostalgia podcast, I feel like I'm entitled to a third of something.
Well, they would be buying.
I don't know what, but
Total Nostalgia.
I don't know how the podcast would work because they would have to take all the videos.
Not a third of something.
They would have to take the videos of all of us off of there.
Well,
if they bought it,
I guess you would, unless they bought the rights to that. Well, I guess we would have to divvy it up. At that point, we would have to decide what the value of the podcast is per a portion of the overall.
Yeah, if they were gonna,
and I'm gonna get a third of that.
If they were gonna buy the podcast, because
it may not be much. Yeah.
I'd probably have to buy you a pizza. It'd be enough to get you a pizza.
Hey, that's more than I got right now. We've been doing all right. I can eat a pizza.
Yeah, you can't. You
have no carbs.
That's right. I'm no carbs, so we already blew that.
Yeah.
All right, so
cookie.
So that's pretty. I mean, that's pretty much it for Friday. I mean, obviously we've already started about JDF, and that was Saturday. But so I wasn't there. So y'all fill us in. What happened Saturday? Of note.
Well,
and I know y'all were stuck in a booth most of the day, so there may have been a bunch going on that y'all didn't see.
I was stuck in the line.
You were stuck. Yeah, you were helping JDF. You were manning the booth and videoing your cards whenever you went to potty.
I had to finally Dan that helped us with the toy show. He came by and I was like, "Dude, you guys stand here for a few minutes. I gotta go to the bathroom."
Yeah.
And I rodeoed in another guy, Cody, to sit there so I could go to the bathroom. And then Titus, another guy we know that had a booth.
Yeah.
He's walking around. I was like, "Please stand here. I gotta pee so bad."
Yeah. You should have brought you a Gatorade bottle.
Shoot. I mean,
I
was
texted
there
and
was
asked for a drink and then never even got a drink.
because I couldn't leave.
I had to leave my post, but you could leave to go pee 3 times.
Because I found people to sit
asked
there
for a
with
drink
me.
one time at 2 o'clock.
Man.
Never got a drink.
Look, if Dan or
I had to leave and go get me a drink. Came back and had 3 people standing there waiting for tickets.
if
Oh,
Dan
my
or one
gosh.
of the other people that I rodeoed into sitting there for me would have came by at that time, I could be like, hey, can you stand here while I run Renee a drink?
Yeah.
But they never did.
So let me go back to this. So I know y'all like JDF and all that. I understand that, and I'm sure his assistant gets paid pretty good to do what she do. Did they just come out and ask you? It's like, hey, will you work for free and for us all day?
No, we were standing there to give them the cookies and
Yeah.
stuff, and then Nicole was like, "Oh my God, we got to find somebody to help us do something with this line. They're trying to find us some help." And I told her, I said, "Well, you already know the system,
Yeah.
because it's the exact same thing they done at our store."
Uh huh.
I was like, "Why don't you just help them?"
Okay.
We had a small booth.
Come on, Terry.
That should have been really good fate though to be like, I'm already in the area. It's like, why not just swing by and let's talk a while? Or even that, why don't we get an interview or something? That doesn't
Now,
necessarily
he probably would have done something like
Yeah,
that.
like a behind the scenes,
anything.
like 5-minute
Just
interview.
5 minutes that we
Because
could have said. Oh,
He's a cool dude. He would have
I
done it.
know.
Had it not ran an hour over already?
Yeah.
Because they were 3 hours late.
Was he leaving
getting
that
out there.
night?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
He was leaving that night after they got done.
Yeah.
Wrapped everything up. So
They probably would have went up there. He probably would. Hell, I don't even know if he probably would have literally packed his bags and left.
maybe why it's hot on his
I think he already
mind.
had them packed.
Did he?
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
why it's fresh on his mind. If we can figure it out, we do like a little Skype something or other. You
Yeah.
think he'd be cool? He could do that from a hotel room on his cell phone.
Yeah.
Probably. I don't know if he would or not.
You don't think
We're not.
so?
I don't
I'd
think
say-
we're in that tight with JDF. Now Renee's gotten in pretty tight with his assistant.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, look, this is that chick that stood over here for 7 hours and helped us. Get your phone out,
Yeah.
right? Well,
yeah, because
let me ask you this:
it would have been
Is
much
there-
later if
Is there any value in
Yeah.
us having an interview with JDF's assistant? She seems like a nice person.
she's
I like
real
Nicole.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she's
real
a
cool.
black belt in karate.
Yeah.
And all kinds of
Yeah.
other stuff.
Yeah.
She's super cool.
Well, maybe we should call her up one time. You could, and honestly, be like, well, the bad thing about
You know,
that is
would be really neat.
it
'Cause
would
it
be
would be
neat.
like, what's it like working for JDF?
it would be neat,
Yeah.
but it also stinks of us being like, let's talk to you so we get to be better friends, and you force JDF to come on here and say so. That's what it would sound
Sound
like.
desperate.
If I was
Yeah.
her, I would be like, yeah, y'all really want to talk to
Yes,
me?
we
I'm
will.
sure. You know.
But she is
I do
super
like
nice.
Nicole.
Yeah.
She's real nice.
I'm sure, but it'd be hard for it to not come off that way, don't you think?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, she runs one of his dojos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And does all this on the side, or like that's just part
It's
of
her
it?
full-time job,
Yeah.
helping him and running a dojo.
Yep.
Dang.
Yeah.
Where's his dojo at? In Austin? Or is
In
it Texas?
Houston, but I think he's got
He's got, like,
several.
Yeah, 3
she
or
runs
4,
one
I
in
think.
Houston, I know.
Does he have his name in the title, or is it just the name of his martial art?
It's the name of, I think, his martial art.
Is it
yeah.
well known that he's the guy,
Rising-
though?
Is it like Rising
Oh, I'm sure in
Sun
that
or
area,
something,
like,
or-
yeah, I'm pretty sure anybody that's looking into it, like, knows it.
So,
And he's a pretty well established, like, take away, like, the Green Ranger role and all that.
Uh-huh.
Like, he's won, like, a bunch of stuff with Black Belt
He's
magazine
a
awards.
8th
and,
degree black belt.
like, he's well established, I believe, in the martial art community away from
yeah,
just being, and, you know, he fought MMA twice
yeah,
at heavyweight,
yeah.
and he won both. He wants to fight CM Punk. but
That's what I've always
Yeah, it's
heard. yeah.
Rising Sun Karate
Yeah.
Academy.
So, did he come up with his own variation of some form of karate, tweaking it here and there, or is he just passing on what he was taught?
honestly, that I do not know.
Yeah, I don't-
it seems like all these people that start some kind of dojo, like, say this is my style.
And I'm sure there is something
And
unique
there's
about it that I
one
found
thing-
out that this works better than some other things. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really know either.
Yeah.
But I feel like they're probably all the same.
Everything I know about that kind of thing came from the Foot Fist Way with Danny McBride. So I'm pretty well versed in it.
Yeah.
I feel like I know what's
the
going
bad
on.
side of it.
Yeah, the
The little-
good, the bad, but the good side of it also. You know.
Yeah, those
I
people
mean, he
just
punched that
taking
little kid in the face.
taking people's money.
Ah, yeah,
You don't
yeah.
learn anything.
He punched that kid in the face. He knows something. He put
Well,
that
is
kid
true.
down. You know.
I think everybody needs to be punched in the face
I do
once.
too. Most time when they're a kid. To be honest with you.
I think
That does the most
if
good
you've
if you
never
get it
been
when you're a
punched
kid.
in the face, you need to know what it feels like.
Yeah, so it
The
doesn't
day
shock
may-
you so much.
Yeah, the day may come you might get punched in the face, and if
Might
you've never
do.
been punched in the face,
Yeah.
you know it's going to be a complete shell shock to
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
instantly defeated.
Could be.
I've
That's-
accidentally
You been
slipped
punched in
and
the
hit
face?
myself in the face enough.
I'm
that
sure
I
that's
know what
not
it's
not
like.
not like a full, because I mean I'm sure if me and my brother were fighting or whatever, there was some restraint in it. No, I've never been in like
never been
a
punched in the face?
knockdown
Well,
drag out.
We'll have to do that a video.
Yeah, but
I'll
I'm
put some boxing gloves on and get you a good punch to the face.
yeah, but I'm afraid that if I ever saw red, that I would just shoot somebody. So it's probably
Well,
best
you
we
don't
don't
have
do
a
that.
gun on you.
You don't know that.
I know that.
There's one right out there.
Yeah, but we're not going to do it out there.
Okay. That might be safe. That might be
I
safe.
got some boxing gloves in here somewhere.
Yeah.
So JDF earned his first black belt at the age of 12. and
that happens
opened
a lot though with these kids.
and opened his
That's what I
first
mean. I feel like I could
karate
get-
studio at the age of 18.
No, I'm not saying he's not skilled. He obviously is. But I'm just saying on the outside end, I feel like you see, it was most time. Oh man, I hate to say this. The stereotypical person is like, I'm a black belt or whatever. You're not very fearful. You know what I mean? Like most time, it's like Danny McBride in Foot Fist Way. That's the kind of people that I think of. It's like I don't, depending on who you get it from or what the school you learn it from, I'm not sure you respect a black belt. Now, when I was a kid, it was mystifying.
Like, I don't care if there's a 12-year-old and he's a black belt.
Yeah, right.
You don't stand a chance.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's what
like
I mean.
30-year-old.
Exactly. That's
Yeah,
what
you
I
don't
mean.
stand a chance.
That's what I mean.
If I ran a karate dojo, I would not give out black belts till you turned 18.
Exactly.
I'd be like, look,
You
sorry,
got to
you're
be a
child.
threat. You got to be a threat.
You obviously are skilled and you beat up your little classmates and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
And you might could kick somebody in the groin and do enough to get away from an attacker.
Right.
But you're not beating up no grown
At that
man.
size, I don't care if I get my hands on you. You can't do
I
anything.
could hit you one time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna knock you out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with the physical strength that I would have over you, it would be like wrestling a midget. I mean, I would
Right.
just destroy you.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, you wouldn't stand a
I'm not sure you can
chance.
say midget, but
You can
So
say
it-
midget.
oh, can you?
Yes.
Okay,
Well,
okay.
they wouldn't say midget wrestling.
I don't
you
think
get
that casts them in the greatest light.
vertically
Vertically
inclined?
challenged.
Yeah,
vertical
vertically
challenge.
challenged.
That might be worse.
Yeah.
That
No,
might be
I'm
worse.
not
Look,
sure.
if I was a midget, I'd want
I
you
really
to call me
hoped
a
I
midget.
wouldn't have to edit this video, and now I've got
It's
to.
always.
You don't
I
have
know.
to edit the
Yeah.
video.
Yeah, you do.
I'm telling you, you can say
You're right.
midget.
This is why the Green Ranger will never endorse our podcast.
Okay, so in '94, he actually did create his own called, I hope I don't say this wrong, Toso Kundu, meaning Way of the Fighting Fist.
Okay.
And that's what he signs in his kanji
Yeah,
and
in his
everything.
kanji.
Yeah.
Cool dude.
Yeah.
I like him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's cool dude.
Yeah.
Super cool dude.
But circling back to the con.
All right.
Circling back to the con.
so don't
Yeah.
get off on that.
Yeah.
I didn't get to do no walk around Saturday.
None?
None.
Oh, Saturday. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
but
But that's
a few
all he did
times that
Sunday.
Yeah.
I was at the booth.
the few times
whole
that I did
time.
have to
Oh, no.
go to the bathroom, I kept walking past this old gentleman that had comics.
Yeah.
And I saw a
Where was he at generally? Not that
where
it,
the
I guess it
bathrooms
doesn't
at.
matter.
Like the
Okay, yeah,
bathroom's
yeah,
right
yeah.
here. Bam, he's right
Okay.
here. He
Which
had
bathroom's
posters
the
and comics.
left bathroom or the right bathroom?
The bathroom's on this side.
Okay.
Left side.
Yeah. Yeah.
Strong
side.
Gotcha.
But I got it over here. I brought the comics I got from this gentleman.
Oh.
I kept seeing this every time I walked by.
Micronauts.
Micronauts
Yeah.
#1.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's got that at $3.
What's that go for?
It's like a $35 comic.
Yeah.
And this is the newsstand.
I think Micronauts have somewhat of a comeback. Like they're one of those properties that gets lumped in with Transformers and
Well,
stuff.
they're gonna do a movie.
Yeah,
with
that's
this,
what I
but
mean.
there's what's that guy's
There you go again.
Captain Universe? Oh, let me look it up. A major character's first appearance actually comes in
Is it really?
Micronauts.
Oh, I
Should
didn't
have
know
already had
that.
this looked up.
Yeah, I didn't know. That's
Well-
kind of like Death's Head's first appearance was in Transformers
Uh,
UK. Like they're certain, not
but I
that
was
he's
like-
a main character, but it's like somebody gets an offshoot that like it's a throwaway character probably, and you never expect them to be, and they turn out to be bigger than their source material.
But there's a lot of cute. Okay, so this is $30 comic. This stuff I
Okay.
got for $3.
Yeah, that's
It's the first team appearance of the Micronauts. First appearance of Baron Karza, who I assume is something with.
I'm sure he's the bad guy, the leader of the bad guys.
So number 8, which I looked for and he didn't have, it was the first appearance of Captain Universe.
Oh, that's pretty big.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
Yeah.
He didn't have it, but
Okay.
I was like, man, Sunday when Renee and me are both running this booth, I'm addicted to this dude's
And it
comics.
turned out to
Well,
well on
Renee's
Sunday when
running the
Renee's
booth.
running this booth, which
So-
I can't say nothing. I left you standing there quite a bit on Friday, but it was
Well-
like I'd go off somewhere
But,
and then
Friday
get,
too.
yeah,
Friday.
but I'd go off somewhere and then I get stuck looking at something. I'm like, and you having to wait to talk to somebody to get a deal on something. It's like, but I apologize. I probably should have been there more.
Well,
often.
you know-
I feel like when I came back that your eyes were floating at one point and you was like, I gotta go pee pee. So,
But you know, when you're
That's how it
looking
was
through
every time. I'd
comics,
have to text him and be
it
like, I need
takes
you
a
to come
while.
back over here, please.
and this dude had a lot of comics to go through. And once I realized he didn't have these priced, up to date,
I would have took him to town.
and then I got to talking with him, and he was like, "Yeah, I haven't. These cons been sitting in a trailer for a year and a half."
Yeah.
He said, "I just hadn't had. We hadn't done any cons since COVID, and it's been a
It's
while
like
since
you've
we've
had
even
nothing
done a
but
con."
time to
Yeah,
go
you're
through
an
and
old
price
man. What are you
them.
doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what you do is
He's
the con.
manager at Home Depot.
Oh, okay.
So
So,
this
he
is-
does have
well,
a job.
okay, okay.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll give him some slack.
This is like so he owned a comic shop.
So is that who we need to talk to get some cheap price on wood?
There
Well,
you
he
go.
told me about wood. He said that the rumor is in about 3 months wood price is going back down.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
There
That's what he
you go.
said. So we'll
I
Maybe.
should have
see.
kept that down home, cuz. You
Uh,
know, we
Yeah,
got to
I
build a
know,
building.
man.
But he had a comic store in Muscle Shoals in like the 80s. He's been doing these cons since 1979.
That's cool.
And he had a comic shop.
Wasn't even born.
God, can you imagine the comics that have probably come through that guy's hands that are
Well, he said
fortune
we were
now
talking, and so like Deadpool's first appearance,
Yeah.
New Mutants '98.
Yeah.
He's like, I can remember when those would be in the dollar bins, and
Yeah,
nobody wanted them, and
Nobody
we'd have
cared.
crap tons of them.
Yeah.
But I think his mom died, and he had all of his stuff. When he shut his store down, he didn't liquidate everything. He kept everything he had. He just shut his store down.
That's a good idea.
Well, his mom passed away, and she had a lien, I guess, against her house.
Yeah.
And so the bank was taking the house.
Yeah.
And so he was paranoid that he didn't get his crap out before, and he didn't have anywhere to put it, so he sold it all.
Oh man.
And he obviously had like
I'd have rented a storage building.
Yeah, I'd try to find something.
bunch of long boxes down there. It was enough money when he sold all those comics that he was able to buy his mom's house.
Still though, I'd rather have the comics.
If I already had a house.
Yeah,
Well, that's
was he
what he
living with his
told me.
mom or like did
No,
he?
he had something or something going on, but he was like, who knows what I sold at the time that,
Absolutely.
all this kind of stuff. But I picked up some good comics from him.
Let's see what you got.
I felt bad for him.
Yeah,
'Cause
I
he-
wouldn't have because
he
he's in
was-
business. He paid to be here. I would have took him to town. So we'd have had everything he had.
I got the stuff that I wanted, and when I would pull stuff that I knew or seen stuff that I knew was like good comics,
Yeah,
I would hand them to him like, you don't want to sell these, what you got on them.
yeah,
And obviously he appreciated that because
Yeah.
he was like, so when I started doing these things, if a dealer was looking at your books and if something was underpriced, they would tell you, hey man, this book's went way up.
yeah.
Because there was a guy across from him who did comics. He said, that guy was coming in there, got to him before, and who knows what he got. He probably got some really good stuff.
Yeah.
And he was said that guy knew that he was getting good stuff, and then still wanted it cheaper than what he had on it.
Hey, but I would have been the same way. Like if I came up to his booth and I pull what I want, and he's got the stuff as advertised prices, I'm obviously going to offer him less than. I mean, you're at a convention. I do that with everything. If Walmart wasn't so strict, I'd be negotiating with them.
Well, I felt bad for him.
I understand, and that's good. That's commendable that you did that. But I think also maybe it's different because you're a dealer and maybe you've got a little more. But I think if you're at a comic convention, you've got to know that you are fixing to face a focus audience. These people
he
know.
definitely
These
should've,
people know the key issues. They know what to look for. So to me, in that situation, we're not talking about your friend. We're talking about a perfect stranger. He paid money to set up at the con. He put his books out at this price. I have no obligation to tell. Now, no. If it was Action Comics #1, it was $3. I'd have paid $3 and offered him $2.50.
I would have done that too.
Yeah.
And like I said, I took good comics.
You did, but you also went further. You could have gotten more.
Oh, I could have got a lot more. But
That's a gray area, I guess.
Some of the stuff that I didn't want was stuff that I know don't move well in the store.
Yeah.
Like there was a first appearance of Vixen, and I don't remember what Action Comics
Yeah.
it is. It's like a $50 book.
Yeah.
And he had like $3 on it.
Oh man.
But
Did you at least tell him about the app download?
yeah, I told him about that.
Okay.
Somebody had already told him about that, thank God. So he downloaded Key Collector. Now, I saved Justin, my buddy Justin.
Right. And that's the different situation I'm talking about. You don't rake your friends over the coals.
Yeah, that's all my
that's
best friend,
different.
so I'm not going
right.
to ever do that to
That's
him.
what I'm saying.
But I pulled some good books out of his. He had Legacy #1 for $5.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. But I did get some good stuff from this guy. So I got Micronauts #1.
Hey, it's a good thing also on top. If Justin listens to this, me and him made a deal that I was going to build him a custom 6-inch scale diorama, and we were going to work out a deal on that Legacy. So I'll be getting in touch with you, Justin, as soon as I get something worked up. We make a deal.
I got New Mutants 14, which is when Magic joins the team.
Is that a first X23?
No, but this is from a different guy, so I'll say this one for last.
Okay.
Okay.
So
That's
hold
also-
on a minute.
That's also a newsstand.
Okay, so what's special about that one?
That's Magic joins
Okay, cool.
New Mutants.
That's Colossus' sister, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
And then he had 2 of these,
What's
and
that?
they both were newsstand. It's Dark Hawk #1, first appearance and origin of Dark Hawk.
And they're doing something with him, aren't they?
Their
Or-
Talks is. That's
Yeah.
a $65 comic.
Is it really? I've got that.
Well, you got to have the newsstand.
I might do.
The regular one was only 20.
Okay.
But he had 2 of those, and so I was like, I'm gonna get one. Here's the other one. I only got this one because I like these movie homage covers. I can't remember
Oh, I love
Apocalypse
it.
Now.
Apocalypse Now.
It's worth what he has on it. It's a $5 comic.
Remember that because I want to come back to that one. Not just but that style of comic.
But
I want to come back to
I
that.
just like these movie
I
homage
love
covers,
them.
and
Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
That's incredible. That's cool.
And so he had more of these, but thank God he got to these out before. So he had
oh man,
he
is that
had-
#1?
this is #2. So
Number
he
2.
had a bunch of these truths, And he had
So-
obviously gotten these out before I got there because he was like, man, I didn't know that
And
there
that's
was one more.
the Isaiah Bradley.
So that's the
That's
second
one more.
appearance of Isaiah Bradley right there.
The African American
Yeah.
Captain America from Falcon and Winter.
He
or that's
obviously
mentioned in
had
Falcon
the
and
other
Winter
ones, and
Soldier.
he was smart enough. He was up on and got those, but he missed one, and I
Okay.
did take it. And then I got.
So
this,
wait a minute. Before we move on, so he had a number. You took this one. He didn't have a number 1 in there.
If he would have had number 1 there, I would have took it.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
If he would have
Okay.
had the whole run of that, I would have took.
Did
the whole
he
run.
have a number 1 that he
He
had pulled?
obviously did have majority of that run, and he pulled them.
Okay.
He
Did he
saved-
have them there with him, or?
He didn't like allude to that he had
Yeah.
them, but when I would hand him comics instead of pricing it and stuff, he was taking them and putting them in like a box, and kind of like
That's a
thing,
good idea.
saving them for another con, I assume.
Okay.
This is A-Force number 1, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
the female Avenger team.
Yeah.
They're for sure gonna do this in the Marvel comics.
Yeah.
This is like a $20 book.
It's a cool book. I mean, it's a cool idea. They did Marvel Legends did a con set of the main characters from that.
I was like, I'm definitely snatching that one.
Yeah.
Up. I got this because there's a rumor they're going to do stuff with this chick, that Arna or whatever. It's kind of like a spider.
I know.
girl.
Yeah, Aranya.
This is her.
Aranya.
It's not her first appearance, but it's her first solo.
Flopping it around.
Yeah.
solo
There's
issue.
no boards on these comics. I'm not
know.
sure what's going on here,
That's
but
why I keep trying to get
I'm
them
very
from him, 'cause he
paranoid.
just,
Yeah.
like, slinging them
let her
everywhere.
display it while you talk about
That's
it.
like it's not very
Just like-
expensive right now, but my thinking with that is they're gonna do something with that chick because she's a Hispanic
Yep.
superhero,
I want to say
and
that
she looks. I really
she's
like
super
her
cool.
outfit.
I want to say that her first appearance was. I want to say it was in a later run
It's
of
Amazing Fantasy.
Is it really? 'Cause
Yeah,
I was
Amazing
thinking
Fantasy number 1.
she has a storyline. I'm pretty sure in
tell
New
you.
Avengers that could because when the Civil War is about to break out and the mutant and the superhero registration or whatever. I'm pretty sure that Miss Marvel approaches her about registration or something like. It seems like she's working in a
Civil
diner or
War?
something like that. It's around that time. I mean, it may have been pre-Civil War. Well, I guess it would have been during that time.
Pretty sure she's. Yeah. So Amazing Fantasy number 1 is the first appearance of her.
Okay. And her
There's
name
some-
Aranya Corazon. Is that right?
Anya
Anya.
Corazon, and she
Okay.
goes by.
Her name is Aranya.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's another
her.
one, a big one. There's some pretty good books you can get out of that second volume of Amazing Fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a cool cover here.
So he had number 3 of this, which was the first mention of sword.
Okay.
I actually forgot to tell him to, because at the time when I saw those, I was like, I don't think they're very much more than what he had priced on them, because he had like $6,
Mhm.
but I think they're like a $18 comic. This
Yeah.
is the first appearance of sword,
I
which
just
we
like.
already knows in the MCU.
I just
It's
like.
$20
So
book.
is this the? I want to say is this not the? Maybe this is the main story, but maybe it was alluded to in the previous issue. Is this not where you find out that Colossus ain't dead? Isn't that the issue
No, I
where
don't
they
know
break him
anything
out?
with the story.
Okay,
I
well,
just
so
know
at
who
some point,
appears.
Colossus is thought of as dead. I assume. I don't remember what the circumstances were, but in this run of Astonishing X-Men, one of the biggest things that happens is they break into this facility where they're testing mutants or whatever, and come to find out one of the mutants there is Colossus, and this is his reappearance back into continuity or whatever. And it's like the X-Men save him, or whatever. But that's a super cool issue because it's got like her phasing through him,
Yeah, him and
like
Kitty Pryde.
Shadow Cat. Yeah, super cool.
This is Monica Rambeau's second appearance, and it's her first time joining the Avengers.
Okay.
It's pretty much, this one pretty much priced at what it's going for
Yeah.
currently. But, her first appearance is like $180.
Yeah.
Her second appearance is $5. So it's very undervalued, and she's gonna join the Avengers in the MCU.
So in her first appearance, what's her name? I mean, her alter ego.
She goes by Captain Marvel when she first appears.
Yeah.
And then she goes
What'd she
to
become?
Photon.
So that's
and
what I'm
then
asking.
Spectrum.
What is her in that comic? What is
She's
her?
Captain Marvel.
She is Captain Marvel.
She's Captain
Okay.
Marvel.
Let's see her. What does she look like? Is that still the white suit?
Yeah.
Okay.
She ends up changing her look, but
Yeah.
that's her second appearance, and it's the first time she joins the Avengers.
Okay.
Obviously, they're going to do that in the MCU.
Yeah, you
And
think
why
so?
would her
One
second
division, you'll
appearance
remember
only be
her from
$5?
One division.
Super
Because that's the way comics are.
Well, I know,
I
but
know.
even like that's super undervalued for
Yeah.
a second appearance. So I was like, I'm snatching that.
Okay. So here we go. I don't feel terrible for the guy on the ones you got on most of these. I'm like,
Look, I
I would
the
let
dude,
you if I had those. I'd probably let you have that for $5 too.
well, that one's only worth $5.
Right
It's
now.
the other ones that I've got. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the first. This is cameo first appearances.
Yeah.
So this is the first cameo appearance of Taskmaster.
Okay.
So Taskmaster appears full appearance in the next issue.
And you found out Justin had the first appearance, right? Or did,
Yeah,
did
yeah,
he already
yeah.
know that he
He
had
knew
that?
that he
okay,
had it.
okay.
He
It's
just had it
underpriced.
underpriced.
Okay.
So he had this for $5. This is like a $35 comic, and it's on the way up. I feel like this is an undervalued cameo.
Is it full on cameo or is it just
I don't
his
know.
fa-
Open
We'll
it
look
up.
at it.
We'll check it out.
Okay.
To me, this next one is the best one that I
Yeah.
got from it.
Yeah. It's
Uh,
a cool cover.
Super cool cover.
I've seen that comic before. Who is the lady on the front cover there that's strapped up?
Honestly, I don't know.
I've seen that cover right there before for some. Man, it was probably something to do with Taskmaster, I would assume. Okay.
I'm gonna try to see if I can do a little cleaning and pressing on this one because it does have a fold line down the center of it, and I think it will press
I wonder
out.
if that's Jewel or what's Luke Cage's chick's name? Is it Jewel?
Agnes?
I mean
Whoever
her.
it
Jessica
is.
Jones?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Whoever it
not. Jessica
is
Jones didn't appear
married.
until way later on.
Whoever
She's
this
a
is married
newer-
because she's got a wedding ring on.
She's a newer character.
Well, I'm just saying that looks similar to her Jewel costume, except it only has one leg. Huh. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out who that is.
But
Renee's on it.
he had Spider-Man 301.
Okay.
You know, Spider-Man 300 big book.
Because.
First appearance of Venom.
Okay.
We're talking like $900 raw.
Yeah.
Big book.
Yeah.
Well, Spider-Man 301, which is, I don't think it's the second appearance of Venom. I think it's just the iconic McFarlane cover.
Okay.
I don't think you get the second appearance of Venom until later on.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still, pretty. It looks exactly like Spider-Man 300.
Yeah.
Except for it don't have 300 all over it.
Right.
But it does have some like some wear issue. This is like $100 book and on the rise. If this will press out, it'll still probably grade kind of high.
Yeah.
But it's a cool cover.
Yeah, it's neat.
We need to do an episode where we just go over the ads.
Oh
that are
yeah,
in
there's
some of
some
these
good stuff
Like
in
there's
those.
some
The older you
skinny,
get, the better.
Self-conscious, gain
Yeah.
pounds, inches,
They always show the
confidence.
wormy little guy or whatever. Yeah.
I could have got a lot bit more from this guy. Like I
Yeah.
said, there's a bunch of stuff I pulled for him. Bunch of Eternals books.
Yeah.
Camp Cook kit. And some Whoppers.
What does suck is he had Daredevil, the Marvel Knights
Yes.
run,
Yeah.
and there's a book that's like the first cover appearance of that Maya Lopez, who's like Echo,
Right.
and it's the first appearance of her dad. He had it over there, and I couldn't remember. I knew I think it's number 10. I knew number 9 was a big book. And I couldn't remember about that one, and then I went back over there. And if it would have been there, I probably would have bought it. But then I also just told him about it. I was like, hey, I think there's a Daredevil book in here you got. It's probably pretty big.
Yeah.
It was already gone by then.
What was that? What does that run?
It's like $55.
That is That's Echo's first appearance.
It's her first cover appearance.
First
She
cover
makes her
appearance,
first
okay.
appearance in number 9.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Is
number
it
9.
worth more?
Oh, yeah.
Obviously.
And they're on the rise because I think she's going to be in something soon.
Well, she was
Hawkeye.
she was Ronin before Clint Barton was
Yeah,
Ronin.
so she's going to be in Hawkeye.
Yeah.
But this is a cool book.
That is neat. That is
I'll
neat.
go ahead and leave it there.
I'm
for
real
today.
interested in this next one here.
I got this from a different guy.
Yeah.
Okay, but I felt like he still had. This is another one of those second appearances in my book that, like, her first appearance is $500.
Barely, and it's barely. I mean, it. I've read it, and she didn't make a huge impression in that. If I remember correctly,
she's on the cover.
Yeah.
And personally, I think this is actually a cooler cover than her first appearance.
You definitely remember this one more.
This is her second appearance.
Okay.
It's like a $60 book. This dude had $40 on it, and I paid him $40 for it.
Okay, well, it's more than I would pay for a second appearance. But
No, I tried to get it cheaper.
Yeah.
This dude was
he wouldn't come down. Oh, yeah, you said this wasn't the same guy.
No, this wasn't the same
yeah,
guy.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, if this guy would have had this book, he would probably had $3 on it.
Yeah, and he'd probably cut you a deal because you helped him out anyways, probably. Yeah, you'd
I
hope
didn't even
so.
ask for a deal on any of this
Well,
stuff.
that's good. You already told him he's underpriced, so that's fine. I mean, that's.
This guy, I tried to get a deal, and he was a bit of a jerk.
I
He
wonder.
was nice after. Okay, so I asked him, it was like, you do $30.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
And he was real, like, stern and mean about it,
Right,
kind of. And I
right.
was like, all right, I'll give you $40. But after I got to talking with him, he was all right.
Did he have his son working his booth with him?
No, so his booth, like, our booth was down here on the end, in the same row that we were on. If you would have just walked straight down, he was on the very end. If you're going this way, he'd have been on the left.
Okay.
He had a really small section. He had some higher books on a wall, and then he had higher books in a couple short boxes, and then everything else was half off books.
Mm-hmm.
I paid $40 for it.
Yeah.
It's still $60.
Yeah.
But my thinking with this is I'm gonna set on this.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no reason her second appearance should be $60 when her first appearance is almost $500.
And that's an iconic
That's
cover.
a cool cover.
I've seen that cover a ton of times. Like,
Super cool
yeah,
cover.
It is.
And you know what's crazy? And man, that poor old man. He probably had this, and I guarantee he probably had her first appearance because he had a bunch of NYX in there. So he had like number 1, he had like number 2.
But somebody had already got the key.
He had some of the later issues, and I didn't realize at the time number 1 is still like a $12 book,
Yeah.
but it has nothing to do with her yet.
Nope. She's a side character, definitely.
I guarantee you he had it.
Yeah.
I guarantee you one of those other vendors snatched it up.
Yeah.
Guarantee it.
Yeah.
But this was from a completely different guy.
Yeah. Right.
Cool book. I really like the cover.
What'd you find, Renee?
I think it's a cool.
So
ass
that
cover.
is the Wasp.
Okay.
That's the Wasp?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Did you
it's
see
okay.
Taskmaster in there?
I didn't look, but that is Jan, and I didn't know that the Wasp was actually with Yellow Jacket and not Ant-Man.
Yellow
Well,
Jacket
same
is
guy,
Ant-Man.
same dude.
He takes on a different name.
This is Ant-Man. There's Ant-Man. There's
Well,
Yellow
somebody
Jacket.
else-
Somebody, Scott Lang became
Yeah.
Ant-Man
Okay,
after
well, in this
Henry
one, the
Pym.
Wasp and
Yeah, he
Yellow Jacket are
That's
the same.
still that's
in
that.
canon of,
yeah.
of the character until later on, like the Yellow
Well, I only know
Jacket.
from the movies. So.
Okay, well, the Yellow Jacket they used in the
Excuse
movies
me.
was a later
Yeah.
on Yellow Jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah, he.
Hank
freaking-
Pym was
Hank
was
Pym been
Ant-Man.
5 different people.
Yes,
He was
absolutely.
Ant-Man. He was Giant Man.
Yellow
then he went to
Jacket.
Goliath,
Yep.
and then he's Yellow Jacket.
Yep.
Oh, because Jan's the mom.
Yeah. Taskmaster's probably just barely on the end.
And he had a relationship with a tiger lady.
I mean, Vision's in here.
Yeah.
Oh, because the Avengers.
White Vision or yellow and green
We
Vision.
don't
Yeah,
get
Yellow
White
and Green.
Avengers
Yeah.
till later on.
Hmm.
West Coast Avengers.
I know, yeah.
But you do have the Avengers in here.
Well, let's see
And
what. That's what I'm curious. Is Taskmaster? We see a face, a shadow, or
You know, sometimes a cameo will be a full-fledged, like, so, okay, Gambit, now they finally called his first appearance. But for the longest, they considered his cameo appearance in X-Men Annual 14.
if I get a full frame picture and see what your costume looks like, that's your first appearance.
Well, that's exactly what happened, and they called him by his name, Gambit.
That's crazy. There's no.
And for the longest, it was not considered. Now they finally changed it. So no longer is X-Men 266 Gambit's first appearance. It's his first cover appearance and his second appearance.
So did the price on that book dive when they made that distinction, or are they both run about the same?
Oh, no. His first appearance is... If you can find X-Men Annual 14, buy them all up because that book's going to go up.
Yeah.
And that book's going to go up a lot because
Yeah.
it's only like a $40 book. Where his first cover appearance, which is only his second appearance, is like $150 raw.
Yeah.
These are raw prices.
Yeah.
It's going to keep going up.
God, I've seen that cover on that NYX so many times. That pose of her looking over her shoulder, like yeah.
To me, that was way cooler than her
Because
first
when
appearance.
she's a prostitute, correct? When she
Don't
she
get
first,
me to tell you
I'm pretty
anything
sure
about
when
the book.
I'm pretty sure when she first comes in. Now she is a trained killer or whatever, but I think she's working as a prostitute.
Really?
So
in
there's
NYX.
Taskmaster. It's not hard to see him at all.
That's a first.
That's a first appearance. That should be the first appearance
How
of
do you
Taskmaster.
consider that? A
They're just
cameo?
saying that he was not involved directly in the
Do
story.
they say
I'm sure
Taskmaster? They even say his
Yeah,
name.
yeah.
My moniker is the Taskmaster.
That's first appearance in my
it
book.
should be.
So to me, this is like that Gambit X-Men Annual 14.
You think they'll flip this one?
They should flip this
You
one.
think they will?
They should.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean it's a full on.
I don't understand the distinction. And who gets to make that distinction?
And he's
I
done
don't
took
know.
out Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I mean, come on. Yeah, that's
that's
crazy.
the first appearance. If you ask me, that's not a cameo. A
No.
cameo would be like there's a.
They didn't
there's
say
a,
his name. The Hellboy.
Or you see a
there's a
silhouette of a
poster.
character or
Yeah.
something like
There's
that.
a poster of the
Right.
Hellboy.
Yeah.
like on
Like
a
Venom's
poster in
first
somebody's room.
cameo, you see a hand.
Right.
That's a cameo.
That's a cameo.
Yeah.
If they say their name,
Yeah.
and like you said earlier, and I get a
He's
full
got a
frontal,
whole
I see his
page.
outfit.
Yeah.
That's a first
That's
appearance.
first appearance. That should absolutely
Now,
be first
not his
appearance.
first cover appearance.
Don't
which
care.
is the very next issue.
And it's a different thing entirely.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, because it says next issue, but yeah, the terrible toll of
Well,
the Taskmaster.
But he
yeah,
says,
he's right
"I'm
here.
Taskmaster." He says it himself. That's in the story to me. That's
You still
stupid.
okay.
got
So
another page.
number 3 is her first appearance,
Okay.
and then
you got number
that's
4.
issue number 4.
That's
was
right.
what I got.
Yeah.
That old man had like 1 and 2 in there.
Somebody picked 3.
I guarantee you they
Absolutely.
did. He had that one, and I was like, I think that one's okay because he had like $2 on that.
What is it? Is that number 1?
Yeah, that's number 1. It's
Yeah.
like $12.
Yeah.
But look at this is the cover. There's that cover. That's her first appearance.
That's right. Right.
Does that not look?
This
much
is so much
cooler?
better. That absolutely is. But it's
And she does look like a prostitute in that, so she
she
might
is a
have been
prostitute. No, I'm not. I'm pretty sure that's right. I'm pretty sure she's working as a hoe. Hoe
Yeah.
for show.
She definitely looks like it. But to me, that her first appearance is crazy. It's
Yeah.
$450.
How much?
It's on $450
Yeah.
bucks. These are raw prices too, and it's on the rise. This little measly old book's only $60.
Yeah.
That's gonna go up.
So before I
I'm
lose
gonna grade that.
my train of thought, you were talking about how you like these movie covers
I
on this
love-
Incredible
yeah,
Hulk,
I love
and
movie
that's a
covers.
dead ringer for the Apocalypse Now movie cover. So what I found at the shop, somebody had, and I didn't even realize it. I'd seen one of these covers before, but starting, I'm guessing at either Spawn 220 or maybe 221, he started doing every issue was a homage cover to a classic book. Like he's got one that has the clown holding up 3 knives, and you see Spawn's reflection in the
Yeah.
knife. So it looks like that Incredible Hulk cover.
He did all his classic covers.
All of his classic covers.
He does that a lot with stuff because Spawn number 8
Uh-huh.
is the Spawn's in the same pose that Spider-Man is on Spider-Man number 1.
Right. So like I said, I got to looking, and that's a run of, I don't know how far it goes, but it was a run of 5 or 6. Like he does Watchmen, the Watchmen cover with the smiley face with the blood on it. He does. Anyways,
so
just start.
I can
Look
tell
them
you
up.
all
Start
of
at
them. I got
Spawn.
'em right
Okay,
here.
go ahead.
It started on Spawn 221.
Yeah.
So he did Amazing Fantasy, which is Spider-Man's first
Right.
appearance. Then he did the cover, which is Venom. I think it's Venom's first cover appearance.
Yes.
I don't know what number of Spider-Man it's in, but it's where Venom's got Spidey pinned down.
Yes.
Then he did The Walking Dead.
Yep, I remember
And
that
then
one.
he
Right.
did Frank Miller's Dark Knight.
Yep, and that's a cool looking one.
Then he did the Watchmen. Then he did the Wolverine
Yep.
Hulk, whatever
Right.
number it is, I
Right.
don't know. And then he did Spider-Man 300.
Yep. He does more than that.
And then Action Comics.
Yep.
Damn, he did a lot.
I want every
This
one
is
of
a
them.
super. I can't remember who done the cover, but it's a real popular Hulk cover.
Where he's holding
He's
up
holding his
the
name.
logo.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and then that's a Todd McFarlane Batman cover.
And I'll try to put pictures of these covers in
Then
the
he
in
did
the
again
video.
his Spider-Man number 1 cover.
Right. But those are high priced books.
No, I think that's when it ended because the rest of these don't look.
That's
like
what
it.
I'm hoping.
Yeah, that's when it ended.
I would like to
Oh,
go
it's
back
good.
and start getting those one at a time. And there's a ton of those books that there are Mexican versions of that you can have for pennies.
There's a few of
But
these that
they're
aren't too
in
bad,
Spanish.
Yeah.
but
There's
But
some
if
of
you're
them that
not gonna
are.
read 'em.
Yeah, I mean, it's got the pictures. It does.
Yeah.
But even like the titles are in Spanish.
the
Oh.
cheapest
Yeah.
one is the Watchmen one.
Yeah,
It's only
because it
15
sucks.
bucks.
And he did 2 versions of that. That was right around the election, and he did one that says Romney wins and one that says Obama wins across the top of the book. There's 2
Just in
versions,
case?
and he well, I don't know if he didn't just willingly release both of them. I don't know, but there are both versions out there. And I don't know if that is something that happened when the Watchmen came out. Did they publish an election result on it? I don't know.
I don't think they
It
did.
felt like another homage thing or whatever, or homage or however you say that. I thought it was, but I don't know that.
There used to be a whole thing on Key.
Because the one I saw said Obama wins. Like,
Yeah.
God, please, McFarlane, don't be this guy. But then I found out there was a Romney one wins also, and I was like, okay, man, maybe he's okay.
They have a whole thing over here on Key Collector about movie homage.
So what was the highest price book in that little run there that you saw? No, the Spawn covers,
$150.
$150. Which one was that?
Oh damn, I don't remember.
The Walking Dead seemed to be pretty high.
It was like 70 or 40.
Really? So I'm thinking,
70.
since that's a limited run, I'm thinking about going back one at a time. I'm not going to go in, elbow deep and spend $1,000 on these comics. Yeah, I know, unless somebody has them. But I didn't realize that they even existed until this con I saw. I'm not going to say who had them,
Who
but I
had
saw a few. It was the guy.
Jeremy?
Yeah.
Of course he did.
I mean, he had, and his were graded, so they were super. And he didn't have them all, but he had enough that I took pictures of them. And I was like, I'm going to look these up later. And so while I was sitting on the crapper at work today, I pulled out the old phone, pulled up eBay, and they were in the 70 to 80, and you get some in the 40s, but then some of them, I want to say that Walking Dead was, I think the cheapest one was on up over 100, something like that. Which,
The
It's
Walking
one-
Dead's 40.
okay, well,
The most expensive one is his cover that he did of Batman,
okay,
which
how
is
much?
$230, and it's gonna
Oh.
run you about $150.
And that's high grade.
That would be a high grade. And personally, if anybody has these,
Yeah.
these newer comics, they're gonna be in high grade.
Yeah.
They haven't been out long, and then so it's like when people were getting these comics, collecting wasn't huge.
Right.
Fold them and put them in
They
the
were
pocket.
reading them.
Right.
Yeah.
So do you
the
feel?
paper that they use?
Oh,
So you
yeah.
feel you
Oh,
can just
boy.
feel the quality.
Oh,
You
yeah.
could see the color of these pages when
Yeah.
she
You
And
opened
feel
it.
the
They're-
cover of that one,
Oh,
which is
yeah.
a
I was
which is
waiting
a
for
new
the
comic.
It's
vinegar to
glossy.
hit
It's
me.
it's glossy.
They're made
but-
better.
Yeah,
They hold
They're
up
gonna
better.
last longer.
Yeah, they're gonna last
Yeah,
longer.
they're more damage resistant. Like
They
the,
are.
the staples don't pull
Yes.
out of those
Yeah,
as bad.
it's like
no.
they
Yeah.
realize these are collector's items.
Yeah.
We'll make them a little bit
I
better.
appreciate that.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah.
And plus, it's people like with modern comics. People, they're not going to take a low. If you have something at an 8, they won't even buy it probably.
So you think Justin's got to run in the 220s of Spawn?
I bet he does.
We need to get in touch with that guy. See what he'll do a deal on.
Justin's got a lot of comics.
Yeah,
that he
I
ain't
would
went
love to have the
through.
time to say. I still haven't finished going through yours. I'm going to plan to get back on that this week sometime.
He's got more than I got.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
about to have some more though.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. I need to get through these so I know what's new, so I can go through them.
Hayden,
And that's, let me tell you
We're
something.
gonna have to get the rest of them shelves.
You
up.
are
Come
gonna.
on, man.
Well, we can do that too.
Yeah.
Let me tell you this too, though. You keep it out of Fast Eddie's ears. Understand? I get first look at these. Now
Texas Eddie.
he's got to
Texas
know
Eddie.
that I'm not buying $150 books. He can have free pass on those or whatever. But let me have a few of them 5 and 20s or something like that.
so
Come
he
on.
cracked me up Sunday. He waited to come till Sunday,
Yeah.
so he could work some deals. Some votes.
Okay.
I seen him walking. I was digging through this guy's books, and I could see Eddie at our booth, and he kind of looked panicky.
So people may not listen to every episode. Eddie is a customer that has become a regular at the store, and he likes them comics.
He loves
Yes.
them comics.
Yeah.
He's a really
And he's
cool
from
dude.
Texas.
I like him a lot.
Yeah.
And so I was
Which is
like,
why he's Texas Eddie.
I was like, what's
Texas
he doing?
Eddie.
So I stopped while I quit digging through that guy's books, and he's like, oh my God, there you are. He says, my phone quit working.
Uh-oh.
He says,
uh-oh.
and I didn't bring no cash. And I've been PayPaling everybody, friends and family, so they'll try to give me a good deal. And he's like, I need. And I'm like, what are you buying? He says, it's several things. He says, I'll
For
get
multiple
some. He
people.
says, I'll message somebody to have you PayPal you the money if you'll go around and get these books. And so I was like, okay, let's go.
Whoa.
And,
I did not. This is the first I've heard this story.
So
Man.
we go over to one guy's spot. He's got Incredible Hulk, the first appearance of Thunderbolts.
So had he went around and told these guys what his issue is? Put these books. I'll find a way to
Yes,
pay you.
He did.
Okay.
Yeah, it's exactly
Okay.
what he did.
Okay.
So we go to that guy. He's got it's graded. It's at a 9.8. Bam, we buy that. We get that one. We go to the next person, and I struggled. I've never used PayPal.
Really?
Yeah, so I was
Okay.
like
he
punching.
he just always.
I was
Yeah.
like, what do I do? And
Yeah.
finally,
Yeah.
Eddie had to take the phone from me
He's working.
and do everything for me. So then we go to this other guy, and it's a stack of slabs. They weren't like any like heavy hitters.
Right.
That was at that guy. Then we go to another guy, and it is a stack of Star Wars comics.
Yeah.
And it was like.
Is Star Wars his main? It seems like.
No.
Really?
he
Seems like every
just-
time.
He
just
sends
goes-
a lot of stuff off to get graded,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
pressed and cleaned and graded.
Yeah.
He got some heavy hitting Dark Horse Star Wars comics, some
Yeah.
good ones. And then after we go from there, we go to Justin's booth, and
Justin is the one that I've made a prior deal for a Star Wars Legacy. I mean, it wasn't on the books or anything. And I may have said if somebody comes around and offers you good money, go ahead and take it. I might have said that. I kind of thought it was a gentleman's agreement, but maybe only one of us was a gentleman. I don't know.
so I take him to Justin's booth.
Just don't want to ever listen to this podcast. I think.
Yeah,
So
I'll send him a link to
I
it.
take
I
him
want him to
over-
hear it.
I take him to Justin's booth because he was looking for. So he bought Legacy #1,
Yeah, he did.
but he bought the second printing from that guy that he spent on. Probably shouldn't say how much he spent. He might not like me saying that.
Well, I can cut that out.
Okay.
He spent a
Just
bunch.
put up
For
over
a normal person,
Yeah.
he spent a
I
bunch.
He
need-
spent and just do the money
Yeah.
sound.
I didn't even think
Cha-ching.
about
Yeah, right.
that.
Yeah, you
Uh,
should have.
Yeah, this is his address. I think I've got 3 of his social security
Yeah.
numbers.
Oh,
I just
anyways.
got to figure out the order.
He wanted the first one, so he goes over to Justin's, and him and Justin work out a deal. So he gets that one from Justin. He gets the first appearance of that Torres guy who
Yeah.
later becomes the Falcon. And
Right.
then he gets like the first cover appearance of the first time that guy dons the Falcon outfit, and then the first cover appearance of the Falcon.
Yeah.
And he trades some Funkos to Justin, and it ends up being,
Is
little bit
Texas
of-
Eddie just getting into comics? Because I feel like some of those books he's probably seen before, or
So,
should have seen before.
I think he told me he's big into action figures.
Okay.
And he's kind of been slowly moving away from action figures and more into comics, and he's gotten just super more into comics.
Definitely a better long-term investment.
Oh yeah.
You know.
I think comics
Yeah.
are they've proven themselves to be a like
Ah.
you're gonna sink some money. There
Besides
may
most
there may be a
90s.
dip.
I feel like 75% of toys have proven the opposite.
Yeah.
Well, not only
They
that,
bubble and then they go down and never come back up.
So-
Not ever. I mean, not never.
you're not gonna get. It's hard to find a toy that's $5,000.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
there's a
yeah.
Whole
I don't
bunch
know
of
if I can name
comics.
one.
Exactly. Yeah, like you're talking about like a mint
Yeah. I
AFA
do.
graded
You're talking-
Optimus Prime or some such nonsense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
an old,
Or
Yeah,
wor-
still
yeah.
in the box. Yeah.
Right,
yeah,
right.
but comics.
Yeah.
A little less. This book could just as easily be worth $5,000 and for no good reason.
And
you
who
know
knows?
what I mean?
In 20 years, it probably could be.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
But yeah, comics and you have a way better long-term investment. You can see a higher return on your investment than you can with action figures.
And you never know it because just like you've found numerous times where you come to find out you've got an expensive book in a box that you'd forgot about or didn't even know existed or whatever, or wasn't worth anything and now it's jumped up and you forgot it was over there.
Yeah.
I was looking through my own box. I sent you that picture of that JSA classified, which I would have assumed it was a variant sketch cover of Power Girl. I would have assumed, like, man, if there's any of these, it's going to be worth anything, it's this one. It turned out that one wasn't. But even thumbing through those books, I got a bunch for my brother. Like, at one time, he was like, man, you just have all these comics. And he just gave me his old box or whatever. And he was like me. We were collected in somewhere, it was 2.5 years difference between us. So we were collecting in the 90s. We were always looking for number ones. We was looking for foil, looking for
Hollows.
hollows, the good stuff, the cohibas. And so I was just thumbing through there, and he had bought. When I got out of comics, he stayed in them because he would go to like flea markets and stuff, and Grandma would be selling some comic books, and he'd just buy them. So he's got a picking a few of some here and there, whatever. That probably I haven't looked them all up, but just thumbing through that book is like I didn't even know I had this, because I didn't pay much attention to what he had given me at the time. Apparently. Like I said, the one that I pulled that I thought would be a winner wasn't. It was a dud.
Well, now,
whatever.
With those variants, like they're not always going to pop up on Geek later. Don't mean that if it's not an expensive variant, you have to check it to an actual comic price.
Right,
guide.
but I just assumed
but
since
the
this
variant has for it to be worth big money variant, it's going to have to be like a 1 in 25 or a 1 in 100.
It's the limited numbers more so than the content,
there's some
right?
variants that are like they're the same as the regular cover price one because every store got multiple copies of it,
And this
they
one,
were like a 1 in 10 or a 1 in 5 variant.
Yeah, I just thought this one was super cool, and it's Power Girl doing that. She's throwing the gun. Like
from,
it's like looking up at her. God, it was such a cool cover.
The guy got this from Wolverine's son, Dakin, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
That comic's been going up because of the whole Exploring Madripoor website.
Yeah.
He had the 1 in 100 variant where he has this third claw coming out of his head.
Out of his wrist. Yeah.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who had that?
That guy I got that from.
Okay.
I should have probably bought it.
Eddie didn't want that one? I'm surprised. He wants everything else. He sure wanted Star Wars Legacy #1, Justin.
And see, he bought that guy that he got that stack from. He had #1, but it was the second printing.
Yeah, right.
And he wanted them all. He's gonna send them off.
Anytime, if you could just take a look. So the reason Star Wars Legacy is going up, and I know it's the first appearance like 3 or 4 different characters, but it's Darth Talon.
Oh yeah,
I don't care. You take the rest of them and throw them away because nobody will ever mention them again. But that red Twi'lek with the Darth Maul tattoos all over. I could have swore that I read somewhere that was in George Lucas's plans for his trilogy that Disney took over, basically, or whatever. I think she was going to be a character in that. Maybe not the main, but she would have been like an apprentice, I guess. I don't know.
Well, she probably would have because all those Dark Horse comics are like George Lucas didn't do anything without his approval. It didn't matter if you wrote a book, a comic, a video game. It all had to go through him, and he had to approve it. So those were all carrying on with the story that he wanted, those Dark Horse comics.
But if you take a character just solely based on design, God, there ain't much cooler than her. She looks awesome, and that's really the only reason I want the book. I think she's a cool looking cover. A cool looking character, and there's going to be a future for that character. Somebody's going to do something.
They're going to do something. You can't take somebody that looks that cool.
Nope.
The crazy thing was, Eddie paid a lot for
the second printing.
And
you said a good high grade on the actual first print is like $190, right?
Oh yeah, it's $190.
Yeah.
If you get it graded, it's gonna be pretty good. He overpaid for that second printing by a lot.
Did he wish he'd not bought? Did he know at the time that Justin had the first printing?
We can talk about it when it ends.
I think he did.
I don't know why you'd want it then. Eddie do what Eddie do.
Yeah. But who knows? He probably got a better deal on all these in the cover price. Because he was showing me some of the stuff that he got prior to when he came over to me.
Prior to when he needed money.
Yeah. And he picked up a Deadpool first appearance.
Yeah.
He picked up 2 Cable first appearances.
He's been to Comic Cons before, hadn't he? Because he was. Or is this his first one, maybe? I don't know.
Honestly, I don't know. I assume he's been to some.
I assume with him spending money like he spends that he's been to a few of them.
Well, not only that, he got that thing from me that you put
the protective box.
He had it with him.
That's my point exactly. He's got to have seen 1,000 first appearances of Deadpool before they were worth what they're worth now.
I think he's just buys them, grades them, and then.
You think he's buying multiples? Maybe he got a good deal on that one.
Is
he? Okay, okay.
I think because I sold him the first appearance of that Torres guy.
Mhm.
He bought another one from Justin.
Okay. Well, I thought he was. Is he doing this for the investment, or does he just?
I think he is. I
Yeah.
think he probably gets dupes, grades them, sells the one to cover what he's
buy
got,
something else.
and then he can set on the other ones. Or who knows? You may grade them all and set on them all.
Yeah.
There's money to be made in comic books.
That's so different from my philosophy. Like I wouldn't have unless somebody gave it to me. I wouldn't have a graded comic.
Well, the guy I got that from don't believe in grading comics.
I don't like it at all.
He kind of has the same like thinking in reality. Like if I was going to collect comic books, he kind of thinks very similar to I do. Like I would grade old ones, so they don't deteriorate any further.
That makes sense.
But like new ones that I've got that I know are minty, and as long as I store them properly, they're going to stay minty.
Yeah.
Is there a need to grade it? Probably not.
Well, and another thing too is there's a different philosophy for a dealer than it is a collector.
Oh yeah, because
to me. But now I
value.
also know that there are collectors. It's like their main thing is graded comics. So it's just different strokes for different folks. But for me personally, if I was dealing, I could see, you're going to move more money per product on a graded book. But for my personal collection, I wouldn't have one.
Well,
I don't have one and won't have one unless I found a real good deal. Somebody gave me something.
Graded comics don't sell good in the store.
It's just too much.
They don't.
It's when I can
That's
look
a
at
con thing. You're
Yeah.
gonna sell
Yeah.
graded
Sure.
comics at a con.
when a whale comes through and he's got the money to spend.
I mean that's where you take
Yeah.
those kind of books. You take
Yeah.
big books to a con that are graded, and you can move them at a con because
Yeah.
guys are going to comic cons and they're looking for big books.
Yeah.
And they're coming with a lot of times they're coming with money.
Yeah, apparently.
I mean
Yeah,
Eddie dropped some bucks.
yeah.
And there was a guy that bought a comic book from Jeremy. I don't know what comic it was, but it was $5,000.
Jeremy had a $5,000 graded
Oh,
comic.
he's got some expensive comics.
Yeah.
He probably had in his graded comics alone, I don't even be over $100,000.
Man.
Yeah, he's got some big books. He gets good collections.
All right, so at this point, we go a little off the rails. Basically, Renee and Philip are taking a trip up north just a little bit to look at some collectible items, and we kind of discuss that, and we eventually get around to the point, so just bear with us.
What's your plan? Are you going to go thumb through quickly, or are you
I
just?
think me and Renee are going to go up there because there's some stuff that I want in another place.
Yeah.
I want those. There's a guy that's got a life-size Dracula and a life-size Frankenstein. I want those.
That way we can put them here.
For
Yeah.
personal collection on this one, though, right?
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
keeping the.
Cool.
I
Yeah.
like
That one there.
monster stuff.
Yeah, cool.
I like Frankenstein. I like the Universal monsters. That would.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was going to collect another thing, I could easily collect. And Renee loves that stuff.
You
I
know,
could
112, Mexico 112 does the Universal Monsters.
I
They've
don't
done
like spending
Frankenstein.
money on stuff
Yeah, I
unless it
know.
comes through the store.
But I will go spend money on these statues.
These are cool.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
look good. I
They're
showed you.
handmade.
They look handmade.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And a wolf.
I'm gonna dig through, quickly skim through what
Yeah.
what
'cause we
Hayden
gotta
them
get
got.
a count.
Yeah, you
Also-
got to. Yeah.
Or gotta get an understanding too.
In your
like,
mind,
there's
though,
some
when
money
it-
there.
when
You know,
Right.
some are just like garbage.
Well, that's what I'm
this one's tore
saying.
up, I'm not counting that
Well,
one.
yeah, so yeah, take one off, Renee.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm
all
getting
ripped
at.
off.
Like, when the gears start grinding, are you thinking dollar per book? Is that kind of what you like? There's 5,000 books.
So that's
I'd like
what
to
he
be
wants.
at. You know.
He wants $1 per book.
Yeah.
I've got some Barbies.
Oh, he's actually said he wants $1 per
Yeah.
book. When I say dollar per book,
Yeah.
I mean you're going to come
No,
up to a like.
dollar.
Okay.
Per book.
That's what
okay.
he wants.
Yeah.
I thumbed through the comics that he had at the booth then, and there's a bunch of older comics.
Okay.
We're like a bunch of like this kind of 20 to 40 cent comics.
To where you get into where filler books in this run, like there
are
ain't
going to be a couple. Are
Are-
going to be $5-10
could
books.
be just
And
because they're aging.
where you can pull
Based
some
on
really
condition,
good first
since they've been
appearances
there
and stuff.
A year.
Right. Yeah, and people that are first appearances of minor characters years ago that are now becoming major characters.
Yes. Thanks to Disney.
There's
and-
just so much stuff in the
Yeah.
last 6
Prime.
months that have
Oh my
blown
gosh.
up that were nothing.
And all
books.
Disney's got to do is breathe something.
And
that
they're
we're,
going
We're
to.
thinking about doing, and then the book
Yeah.
shoots up.
Yeah.
I mean, like we got so many shows on the geared up to happen that there's going to be a lot of books that weren't big books
Yep.
that
Yeah.
were just nothings that are going to shoot up in price. It's
Yeah.
just going to happen.
We could
And I'm
have some
thinking
out
I
there
can
in
get
the
lucky.
Container.
I'm
Who
not
knows?
fucking-
I mean, it's
Yeah.
happened with the stuff that I've gotten from that guy since the time. So when I got that stuff, all these books that I got from that one guy was about 7,000 books. Most of those Sam Wilson Captain America comics at the time weren't worth anything.
Right.
That first appearance of that Torres guy wasn't worth anything.
Yeah.
It's blew up since then.
See, that's the thing. So a lot of the comics that I buy or have bought, which ain't many because I've been out it for a long time, but when a run comes along that I like when the Punisher took over the War Machine armor, that's cool enough in my mind that I'm going to buy anything that has to do with it. So I went back and got the run. I bought the Hot Toys figure of it. I bought the Legends figure of it.
I got
Like
the Legends.
I got the Hot Toys, man.
I bet
it's
that's
awesome.
awesome.
but so like Red Hulk, when he came out, I was like, I gotta have that. So I got his first, first full story run in that Hulk volume, whatever it was. That's kind of how I pick and choose. And I forget where I was going with this train of thought. So let's just move on. What were we even talking about? 'Cause now I don't got it. That's what I was going to say. No.
Get it?
Wait a minute, I'm back.
Yeah.
So when Falcon became Captain America, I was like, that's a cool looking costume. Like, I'd like to have that. So I went back. I think I bought mine from Midtown Comics, the big comic store in New York or whatever. Like that's instant. Times Square or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it is. I don't know that. Yeah. Anyway, they have a good website for buying comic books. I bought that, and I bought a few other things because, like, golly, you can't buy just one book because basically you're paying more for shipping than one book. Yeah. So I put together a few books, and then I come to find in that process, I was like, I don't know 10 books right now off the top of my head to even say that I want to be. So I was like really struggling. So I ended up getting I think I bought a issue number 1 of Rebirth Nightwing, just because I like Nightwing. I know that don't matter for anything, but I also got when X-23 took over as all new Wolverine or whatever. When she started her run as all new,
she becomes she takes on a different name.
Does she? When the book is titled All New Wolverine, she has a name. Really? I didn't know that. I assumed they called her Wolverine. The action figure says her name's Wolverine.
I think they just do that because her name's like Honey Badger or some crap like that.
Okay.
And you're not going to be like, Honey Badger?
No, I'd be like, you ever seen the videos about a honey badger?
Who's Honey Badger?
Those things are vicious. Like they've gotten more of a reputation than a Wolverine now.
Correct myself here.
Here we go.
There's a clone of a clone. So the clone of X-23, who's called Gabby, becomes Honey Badger.
Gabby's my baby's name.
So many clones.
That is book number 2.
So does Laura Kinney, ain't that her name, Laura Kinney? Is that right? Her name's Laura. I want to say her last name's Kinney.
I'll tell you.
I'm not sure. But does she go by Wolverine?
Real first and last name.
She must go by Wolverine.
I think she does. I think everything
Laura Kinney.
Yeah, so right on it. All right, okay.
Yeah, Laura Kinney.
Yeah, so I bought that number. What's that number 1 worth? Probably nothing.
$12.
Well,
Number
I didn't
2
pay
is the
$12
bigger
for
one.
it.
It's 25.
Should have known.
You probably got a hologram too, didn't you?
If they'd
Some
had one,
hologram?
I
They don't
would
do that
have.
no
I don't
more.
No,
know.
maybe just in the stack to save on shipping. Did you get some hologram?
You know what?
Full
Now that
cover.
you mention it, no, not in that order, but the next order. So somebody came in here and brought you those. Is it Dark Knight's Death Metal?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
those
you
are
had
cool.
the first 5 of them, I think, and they're foil, shiny foil covers, like classic '90s books or whatever. And these look super cool, really good artwork and everything. And I think that's a neat idea. It's probably super corny if you actually look at it from the outside, but like
He makes fun of me for liking them.
a Batman action figure that's coming with a big red axe guitar that's pretty cool.
It is cool.
Anyways, so after I bought those 5 from you, I got on Midtown Comics and bought the next to finish that run out and whatever else I needed at the time or whatever. But yeah, that was right up my alley. Like, God, there's no way I was not going to buy those.
Well, I'll tell you, if Hayden's having some good stuff, that'll be a good segment for
What's in the
man.
box?
Yeah,
It'll be
well. See, here's the thing I'm at. So right now I'm currently going through, not really because I hadn't got to spend any time with it, but the plan is I'm going through your storage unit of comic books, and I'm pulling the ones I want. And I'm not getting money books, or I hope I'm not getting money books. I'm more like,
We'll see.
there's probably,
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure there probably are.
You're up to $3,000 right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't be
I did the
surprised.
math. It is.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, we'll have to do some culling then. But that's what so you don't have those books priced yet. So like if I get lucky and find it out here, you've told me you'll honor those prices. Well, these ain't priced, so I'm going to be like, he's just going to sit down and go through the price guide and give me top dollar on every one of them. I'll be like, well, God, I guess I'm not buying anything.
But thanks for pulling the good things
Yeah, that's
for us.
right. Yeah, now I've got no. I pulled all the '90s hard foil embossed covers, so you probably just throw them throw them away.
$2-3,
Yeah, if that.
I'll make lamps with them.
Yeah, that's right.
That's my lamp making books.
I mean, I make
There
a deal
probably are some
for
good
sure
ones
on
in
filler issues.
Yeah, that's what I figured, and that's where I'm at. But yeah, golly, if you bring in another $5,000 worth or 5,000 comics,
He's wanting $5,000.
yeah, well, you don't always get what you want.
No.
You can't do $1 a book. I don't know. I guess if you go up there and look and see if it's worth it. I mean, it doesn't say you won't do it. But
Well, right now I've got him down to. I got some Barbies.
oh, you're gonna work a deal.
So
Gotcha, yeah.
I've got 150
And hopefully
Barbies
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
though you can't see
Or
this
aliens
on
and
the podcast.
predators.
that
here.
I told him
Although I
I would
hate
do
to see them go.
a
Yeah.
1,000 trade credit for.
But they have my
And then
monsters.
I'm thinking that he wants these aliens and predator statues. So I'm thinking $500 for these. That'd get me down to
Which is a really good deal.
$3,000 for
those.
all the comics.
Right. Oh.
In Knoxville,
Yeah.
which is up in Sevierville, is where they're at. So they're
Okay.
in the Smokies.
But people love Barbies.
They're in a good.
They were at?
Sevierville. Or
Okay.
Sevierville.
Where?
Sevierville.
One more time?
Sevierville. Is that how you say it?
I think it's Sevierville.
It probably is. I've
Maybe.
never said it right.
Yeah, we
I'm a
never
jerk.
say it
I
right.
You are.
I can't
We
help
say
it.
Knoxville.
Yeah.
But Hayden
Pigeon
and them,
Forge. Pigeon
Yeah.
Forge. We
They-
at Pigeon Forge.
They're
And
always
Dolly.
getting
Dolly.
some good toys, man. It's
Yeah.
crazy. They're man, I don't know how they do it. They're the luckiest
Location,
people I know.
location.
I think it has a
It
lot to do
does
with it.
have a
They're in
lot
a
to
much
do with
better
Oh
place.
yeah, up north has better because there's more like toy manufacturers
Right.
that were in those areas too. So they're it's like people up north. There's nothing down south.
He
There's
just picked
nothing
up
down
250
here.
carded
It's the home of the
turtles.
greatest little podcast ever created, though.
Yeah.
I agree
I
with that.
mean,
And the greatest
And supposedly,
comic
and then
toy
one
store
day,
ever.
Total
Yeah.
Nostalgia that'll have franchises all along the south.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're looking into that.
But you don't get the podcast with a franchise.
No,
You don't get it.
no,
you don't get
That's
the podcast.
ours.
yeah.
Unless you want to buy my entire
You
everything.
know, $30 million.
You get the
we'll sell you the
name.
podcast.
Okay, well, at some point we're going to have to write down when the
Yeah,
podcast is
yeah.
this and it's worth this.
I'm just saying,
Hey, somebody
if
with 30 million, that's
somebody,
$10 million a piece.
if
I'd be
a
fine with that.
Yep.
venture
Yep. I'm like,
capitalist,
Because we're
Take all
famous.
this.
All then we do is like, hey, guess what, guys? Next week we'll be doing it under this name.
Yeah.
And then we'll just steal all
And
their...
we'll just go to the commons.
That's all we'll do.
Common
Oh,
circuit.
golly. Wouldn't that be great?
Yep.
Jason and David Frank will be coming up to us. Look, can I have your autograph? Like, listen, Green Ranger.
Now, I will
Did
tell
you bring me some
something-
cookies?
Something cool when we were at the con. So Saturday when Renee was standing doing her thing with JDF, I had to run the booth by myself. There's another customer of ours that comes in a lot from Muscle Shoals. His name's Drew. He came into my booth and he's a huge wrestling fan, and he was like, "Oh man, I got my pictures with the wrestlers," and he showed them to me, and I was like, "That dude's a wrestler?" And he was like, "Yeah." I said, "Man, he was just in my booth 5 minutes ago."
Oh, man, you didn't even know it.
I know who it was. I don't watch wrestling.
Yeah.
Plus,
I
everybody
would've
has a
known.
mask on.
Yeah,
And,
too, so it's
I wouldn't have
like-
known.
He was like, "Seriously?" And I was like, "Yeah." So he hung around my booth. I was like, he
Waiting
said-
for him to come back.
because he said, I'll see you later. I'll see you in a minute." Like the wrestler guy. And so Drew hung around for a while. I was like, he said he's gonna come back. I said, whether or not he is or not. Well, he didn't. Well,
He didn't?
He didn't. But the
Okay.
next day,
Uh-huh.
Sunday, he did come back.
Yeah.
3 times.
3 times. He's a huge DBZ fan. His name's I'm probably butchering his name. Sammy Guevara.
I believe
That's
so.
The Spanish
Stanley
guy
Guevara, I would
is what
say,
they
something
call
like that.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super nice guy.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
cool.
Really nice guy.
Yeah.
And he bought one of those big old DBZ figures that I got.
So big,
Yeah.
like 2
Yeah,
foot tall.
the
Yeah.
Super Saiyan 4 Goku from GT.
Yeah.
when they got the half fur.
Yeah.
Bought that,
cool.
and he bought something else. Because he got 2 things. Something else Dragon Ball Z.
Well, that was all I bought.
You sure?
Yeah, I handed him a bag for his Funko Pops because whoever he bought 2 Funko Pops
Oh,
from didn't have
okay.
any bags.
Uh,
I don't know what seller
Really
comes
nice
to the
guy.
con with no
Yeah.
bags, but
so he bought that from us, so we did sell something to an AEW
So, but you
Yeah,
knew
yeah.
who he was when he came back the second time.
He came back the 6th time,
Yeah.
I knew who he was.
I didn't recognize him the first time though. Philip was off doing something, and I didn't recognize that was him. And the guy buying Pokemon cards from him started talking to him,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Wait a second!"
And,
And then he
on
had
a-
his AEW mask on,
Oh, yeah,
and I was
yeah.
like,
He famous.
I was like, oh,
On
okay,
another
okay. I
note-
was like, I better speak to him. I don't want to sound rude. I was like, I better speak.
Yeah.
when I started talking to him when I came into the booth, he kept looking at me and he was like, "Do I know you?" And I'm like, "Well, I saw you yesterday. You came
Yeah.
into my booth."
Right.
He
And people
said,
say you look like Woody
he said,
Harrelson or Owen
"No, no,
Wilson.
Yeah, I could see that a little bit. I never thought about that, but yeah.
and he was like, "Are you a wrestler?" And I was like,
No, here
No.
we go.
And
This
then
is-
Philip's head went.
Philip has been waiting 3 days to tell this
Yeah.
story, and if
Well, not
nothing
3
else
days.
got
Everyone can hear
said,
it, yeah.
if
But anyways,
nothing else had been said, that would have been said.
thought I was a wrestler.
Yeah.
I told him he probably thinks he knows me because I look like Woody Harrelson. A guy, Saturday, a dude took a selfie with me
Yeah.
because he was like, "Man, you look just like Woody Harrelson."
I love that Zombieland movie.
He was like, "Can I take a selfie?" And I was like,
Man, you do what you want to do.
"Sure, man.
$50.
Take a selfie." I was like, "You can tell everybody that I'm Woody Harrelson's son," because I said I'm gonna start doing that anyways.
Yeah, might as well.
Try to get that money.
Yeah.
So,
and then you had someone tell you
oh
something too. at the
man,
con.
yeah. Here's mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody told me I had beautiful hair, just a
Beautiful.
perfect stranger, and
It's perfect stranger.
yeah, and I agreed with her.
Yeah.
No, I thanked her, and we talked a little bit and
Yeah.
everything. And I was like, when somebody flags you down and got to tell you something, it's like you don't know what's like. You've got a child that you didn't know about, or something like that.
You sat in something.
Yeah, yeah. Do you know your pants are split up the back? I was like, but you never know. But she was really nice, so I
She
appreciate
loved
that.
your hair.
She did. I don't
She
blame
touch
her.
it?
Nah, we didn't get that weird,
didn't let her
but
touch it?
yeah. Well,
Should've been like, "You can touch
if she
it."
would have offered, it was already weird enough. So if she'd offered, I'd probably, yeah, I guess if you want to, you know.
Just $5.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, her friend was smoking hot, so.
but
When's
she
the last time you
wasn't.
washed your hands?
It wasn't
I'm
the
not
smoking
gonna
hot
say
friend that said.
I'm not saying.
It wasn't the smoking hot friend that said she had
yeah,
nice
but
hair.
you could tell she was thinking it.
I don't know. She would have been like, "Yeah, I love it."
She
Along
was just,
with that girl.
I may have intimidated the other one though so much. You know, sometimes I don't know.
Smoking hot
It's
girls
just
don't get intimidated.
Well,
I feel like I've
They
had
intimidate
deja
people.
vu.
depends on who they're looking at.
Yeah.
You know.
I did have somebody compliment my beard.
Yeah,
but
it's
was a
coming
dude.
along. Well, see, there you go.
He
He
might
wanted-
not could grow facial hair.
Maybe
was
not.
like,
Or
who
maybe
did-
he just really, really liked your beard.
I must have, because he
You know?
wanted to know what barber I went to.
Yeah.
But
Did he touch it? Your beard, I mean.
I would have let him, but
Yeah?
he didn't ask.
Oh, let's just give you a finger up the
Uh-huh,
face
yeah.
there.
It's real coarse.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
very
That's the way a beard is, man.
Well, no, my brother had the softest beard.
Really? I've
Yeah.
never understood that. I've never, anybody I've ever known, myself included, it's coarse. It's whiskers.
No,
it
man.
ain't.
My
you know.
brother's
It's
was
like
this.
hairs.
was
Yeah,
like-
yeah,
It was-
right.
That's the
right.
softest
yeah.
hair.
Yeah. Okay.
And he shaved it. I don't know what it looks like now. He's probably growing it back, but he had a pretty thick. He had a good looking beard too.
Yeah.
He had that like maniacal mustache.
Yeah.
with
So
the
he-
That
bands.
doesn't.
It
I hate.
was-
Hey, folks, that doesn't look good on anybody.
He
So.
looked
Not
good.
like
on
you
him.
did.
It's probably.
Dastardly.
Yeah, right. No, and I haven't seen your brother. Maybe he pulls it off or
It
whatever.
looks like an old
What I
timey,
remember-
like 18.
Okay, so that's what I remember. There's a guy
1820s.
that used to do car shows. His name's Dennis Gage. Look up Dennis Gage right quick. And so his trademark was his mustache. And if you want to talk about, I mean, your brother ain't never seen a mustache like this.
How do you
Dennis,
know? You know what my brother's mustache looks like?
I guess I don't, but I know what Dennis Gage's
G-A-U-G-E.
mustache looks. Gage, I think.
Yep,
but,
yep.
Yeah, that Joker's got a mustache.
Oh,
And-
that guy.
Yeah,
I've seen
yeah,
him.
yeah. He's always on
Yeah.
like car shows and
Yeah.
stuff. Like he does like the high end car shows or whatever.
My brother had a better looking mustache.
Really?
than that,
Well,
yeah.
I'm just saying his has
That's
got
a
the
nasty looking
his has
mustache.
got the curl. Like it comes
He
back
would-
nearly touches.
My brother would
himself.
curl his, but he looked more like
He looked like he was
Dastardly.
gonna
Right.
throw a stick of dynamite at your car
Right.
driving by.
Right.
and he always wore he wears a he don't always wear it, but he wears like a you got a picture of him?
Okay, that's impressive. No, you know what? I underestimated your brother's mustache.
Let me
Yeah,
see that picture.
he does look like a Hanna-Barbera villain
He
almost.
does.
He does
But
kind
that
of.
beard was soft.
Yeah, that's impressive though.
Super
yeah, I
soft.
could too. He's got a little dog sitting next to him going.
I used to tell him that all the time. I'm like, you either look like that guy.
Ask him what
from
place he
Wack-
came in the wacky races
Wacky
last
races.
year.
How many trophies you got?
or a old time like Civil
Boy,
War
he's pulling
guy.
it off. Okay.
His wife hated it.
Hated the mustache.
Because-
So he doesn't have that mustache
No,
anymore?
he
Oh,
would
okay.
obviously
Shaved it.
now whether or not this is true or not, he would claim that women were all the time complimenting his mustache. That everywhere they went, some chick was like,
I can
I
understand.
love your mustache.
I can understand. Yeah, but if it was a compliment like that, it's one of those like, I would say that to you, but this is not enough that if you were single and I was single, I would want to find out if you wanted to go on a date. You
Well,
know, it's
I
kind
don't
of.
think I've
It's a conversation starter though.
never
It is.
complimented a
Smooth.
man.
Yeah,
on
you could
their
turn that into
facial
You
something.
can
hair.
turn that
Really?
into
Yeah.
into a
I don't
super
think I've
good
ever really
pickup.
complimented a man that I don't know at all.
Well, I thought about that too when that lady said that about my hair. I'm married, happily married. Had I not been, like, how would I have handled that situation? Could you? Because I mean, if a girl, any girl really, if she makes the first step or whatever, because that's to me anyways, it was super freaking rare anyway. If a girl's willing to take that first step and break the ice or whatever, it's like you got to think I probably got a shot here.
You know how you work that?
Yeah.
You didn't care about that chick. You wanted the smoking hot friend.
That's
You'd be
the
like,
problem.
how about me and y'all go out to a bar tonight? And when you go out to the bar, you ditch that girl and you start hitting on the smoking hot friend.
Or I just ask her, it's like, what do you think about my hair while we're standing here?
Yeah. You play that into there.
Yeah. Well,
But you're happily married.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah.
So-
But I did rub that into my wife's face because she's always telling me, like, your hair looks disgusting and stuff like that. And I said, well, guess what? I got
In your face
yeah,
today.
I got that a
In
compliment.
your face.
what I
How
told
dare
her.
her tell you your hair's
I know.
disgusting?
Well, see, I got off on this kick, and y'all probably noticed or whatever. Like, so if you read, the general theory on the internet is people wash their hair way too much. That the natural
you're not
oils,
supposed to
you're
wash
not
it every
supposed,
day,
right?
like
You're
every,
not.
like
You're
3
not.
days or so.
Yeah, I know. Well, I can
Right,
go
so-
longer than 3 days. And she's like, it's just disgusting. But it got to the point where the oil had kind of equalized or whatever,
Yep.
where it wasn't producing as much.
Yep.
And so, like, I washed it last night. And why are we talking about my hair? But when I wash it, like, every individual hair separates. And like if wind gets it or whatever, it's all over the place. If I let it go a couple of days, it starts not sticking together, but it will hold a shape more with natural oils in it or whatever. And if there's a window in there like 3 days in, it's like that's the way I want it. And then as it gets past 3 days, it's like, well, now I probably need to wash this. Kinda, yeah. So it's just one of them things. It's just like
I used to wash
know.
mine every day.
I did too.
And blow dry it and fix it, and it was greasy, so greasy.
Yeah.
That's why I'd have to wash it every day because it'd be greasy.
Right. And they said that's why your body is trying to replace the oils that you wash away every day.
When I had long hair, there was no way I was washing my hair every day.
Oh no, you couldn't have. Like I mean, you would have spent half your day
in a bun. It'd be wet the next day.
Yeah,
which is not good for it.
No, you'd have mold growing in and stuff.
I never had mold growing in mine.
Yeah. You didn't, but we said you could. There's always a possibility.
I'll tell you that maybe. Women go through a lot.
Hey, this here, yeah, they do. I don't know, and mine's nowhere near like that or whatever, but it's more work than I really want to put into something. Just getting out of the shower with it wet, it's just like, oh.
It's I'll tell you what's the worst.
Sometimes I don't want to take a shower because I don't want to brush and dry my hair.
Right.
I would hate when I would go swimming.
Oh yeah. Cool.
And so you're under the water and you come up. And your hair sticks to your face. And you're like,
okay, so even where it's at right now, so I can pull it back and put it into a little, I can pull some of the longest stuff back or whatever. But doing anything, like I'm out here spraying my car off yesterday, so my hands are kind of dirty because I've been dealing with the hose and all this kind of stuff, and it just the slightest breeze and it's over my eyes like this, and it's like I don't want to just put my hands in it. And it's just a hassle. It can be such a hassle. You need a hat on hand,
headband,
right? And I've looked into them a bunch.
We need to make a man's line of headbands.
They got them.
Oh, do they?
Oh, they got them. Yeah, absolutely. Working out headbands and stuff.
Well, once you get to the point where you can...
well, this is like
I meant like headband, like the half circle like that.
That's what it is. That's what it is. It's super wide. It comes further. And I think it is made mostly specifically for athletics and stuff.
Yeah. Once you get to the point where can you put it up in like a samurai
just go old 19
where you can just
take
the center,
just the top. Yes, I can do that. Yeah,
that's before my hair got like long. That's how I would put mine up when I was going outside.
So what I did wrong. Boy, I love this. This is turned off on this. What I did wrong is when I started letting it grow, I was wearing a hat every day, and so I would just pull it out the back. Well, it got to the point to where you get these hairs that are right in front of your ears. They start
doing this?
Yes. Mm-hmm. So I thought, I was like, well, I'll just take little scissors here and trim them out. But I continued to let the back grow long. So then it got to where when I would pull the top up, then this wouldn't go, and now they're doing this or whatever. So I quit doing that. I went and got a trim, got some cut off or whatever, and I said, don't touch them around my ears. Leave it alone. I'm trying to let that grow back. And I'm back to the point now to where those have kind of caught. They're almost catching up with the rest of it. So I haven't been pulling it back as like I was before I got it cut. I'm probably back to the point now where I'm getting close to where I could do that comfortably. And when the yard work starts in earnest, I've only mowed once this year so far. Whenever the yard work, I'm going to have to do something like that.
I've already had to mow twice.
Well, I needed to, but we've always got something going on. I mean, there's that many times.
I don't mind mowing. I don't like weed eating.
I'm the same way. I'm fixing to buy me
I can sit on a mower all day long.
Oh yeah, and y'all got a 0 turn, so it's even better. So I'm in the market. I'm fixing to get me a straight shaft 4-cycle weed eater, so that I don't hate weed eating as much as I do. Just get poison. Yeah, but they've come to find out like all that Roundup and stuff's like giving everybody cancer and stuff. Like I'm pretty sure.
It don't matter. You're already exposed to so much Roundup. Because Roundup ends up getting in the food you eat if you're not eating.
If that ain't gonna give me cancer, something else will. Yeah, I know.
But that's what we did around the trailer and around the fencing and everything. We just freaking.
I've done that too.
And I didn't know weed eating.
I know.
Crap's
dead. It's a better idea.
The first year it happened though, I had flowers planted.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, there's poison everywhere. Yeah, I was like, my flowers.
But I've always wanted a good straight shaft 4-stroke weed eater. I think I'm going to get me one.
Do it.
I like the ones with the metal blades on them.
That's what I'm looking into.
Yeah, so you don't have to use the stupid.
Well, those aren't good for like regular weed eating.
Yeah, screw that though.
That's only good.
They're good for like thick briars.
Cutting down like stuff like that. You don't want to use that for weed.
No, I've seen one. So there's one going around the Yahoo ads or whatever, and it basically looks like twisted wire brushes attached. It looks like a. It looks like an angle grinder almost with one of those buffer brush heads or whatever with the wire brush. But it's like braided. It's like 21 tips around it. They're like braided up, and they show it like you can use it to scrub the top of concrete. It'll cut weeds. Like they've showed it doing all kinds of stuff. Now, if you were to get into like vinyl fencing or anything like, you're gonna mess it up. But if I'm out next to a chain link fence, I don't care. Yeah. I'm gonna eat that stuff up.
Yeah, because it sucks when you have to constantly change your.
I hate it.
You know the thing that I didn't even realize for the longest.
Oh, I got a good one on that.
So I used to work for a grass company.
Yeah.
And I didn't know until I worked for them that when you feed the string into a weed eater and you can bump it on the ground and it'll keep bringing the string out. I thought when you constantly have to take it apart, pull more out. Take it apart, pull more out.
Philip.
I know, right? And luckily when I started working for that grass cutting company, they were like, man, you just bump this thing on the ground and it'll feed your string out till you're out. I'm like, oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Bless your heart.
I mean, stuff that people
Well, if you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah,
No,
I mean,
that's
if nobody ever tells
just
you,
messing with you.
Who reads the instruction manual to a weed eater when they get it?
Well, my dad taught me, so I guess that's why. Like,
Well, I
he
didn't
had us weed eating when we were 3.
We mowed, but
we didn't never mow. We always had somebody mow the grass.
well, that's how it ended up
Renee
being.
came for money.
Well, my dad ended up
They would not let us. They had like the what's all that fake big chunks of grass?
turf.
Yeah, they brought all that in and put it all.
Sod, yeah.
Yeah, they put all that, so we didn't ever get to mow the grass.
Well, my dad ended up having.
We
my
if you want to call it that.
I would go to my nanny's house though, and I would mow the grass.
Yeah.
Because I'd want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'd be like,
I never
12, and I'd be like,
wanted
I'm
to.
riding.
I wish
grass.
I'd have known you when we was kids. I would have
Yeah.
gave you all you could handle.
I get to ride the lawnmower by myself. No responsibilities. I don't get to do it at my house. So I
My
can do it
dad
over
didn't
here.
trust me with a weed eater or a lawnmower, so I got
Oh,
out
my
of
nanny
all
always
that.
let
Really?
me
Golly, we were.
mow.
Oh, man.
I was
love
pretty
mowing.
like if
Shelter
there was something
taken care of.
No, I was just like if something's gonna get broke,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gonna be Philip.
I'm gonna
does
break it.
Yeah.
Philip used to constantly have bad habits of dropping things and spilling things and breaking things.
so he's just
and-
like no.
yeah.
And like I said, he ended up just letting my granny mow the grass so she could make some extra money.
Your grandma mowed your grass.
My grandma.
It's
mowed my
usually the
grass.
other way around. I was more my grandma's to get some
well,
extra
hey,
scratch.
my dad was just trying to help her get some extra money. She wanted
Okay.
extra money, so he let her mow the grass.
It was his mother.
Yeah.
He could have just given her money.
He could, but she don't like taking money.
She don't like
No,
charity.
She
No.
is
Okay.
an
She don't like it at all.
athletic lady.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So-
Still.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
she's
family
still
of
like.
athletes,
Yeah.
bro.
What happened to you?
What are you talking about?
Got you.
My dad was the fastest kid in school. I was the fastest kid in school.
Yeah, but we're talking about boy. I'm just messing
Hey,
with
there was some.
you.
My dad ran
I'm
a
sure
40
there are.
and
I
4.3.
wasn't digging on your dad. I was digging on
Okay.
you.
I'm about to say,
No,
a
I was
4.340 is like
I know.
NFL
Yeah,
level speed. I was like a
picking at you.
4.5. Isn't
Oh,
too.
God, anybody
I was
do
nowhere
that.
near as fast as
Yeah.
my dad.
I'd fall down and do it that fast.
Shoot, I bet you can't even break the fives.
Thanks, Philip.
Hey, you're
Appreciate that.
crapping on me.
I
I
appreciate
got crap
that.
back. Have you ever ran a 40?
No.
What would have been your fastest time if you had to run 40? You think?
What?
How fast can you run a mile in?
Go.
Used to or
Run?
now?
Yeah.
Do you have to run the whole
What's
thing? yeah.
Jog?
No, you don't want
Walk,
me.
jog?
I am not a distance runner. I always wanted to be. God, we got to quit. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that covered on the con? I think that's about
So
it.
we're gonna try to pitch a panel.
Okay, and what's that all about?
Well, this panel's already been pitched at DragonCon, and it's an oncurring thing at DragonCon, but
Yeah,
it hasn't
it
been
is,
done.
but for a panel at the con
No,
that you're
but I'm
going
just
to,
saying,
it's
don't
still
make
called
it
a
all-
panel.
I'm just saying we didn't come up with it.
No,
Yeah,
and I was
but
about
like-
to go into it till you interrupted me.
I apologize.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
Go.
So there's a show on, was it
You've been
Netflix?
Amazon.
Amazon called The Quest for the Muscle Nerd. And it's basically a fitness cosplay contest where you get judged on not only your muscles and your fitness and physique, but also your costume and how you pull off your costume, because you have to have like 30 seconds of music and basically like beauty
Theatrics.
pageant.
Here's my
put in
question.
with all that. So, but they just did like 2 people versus each other because it was the first one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's my question.
Yeah.
Were there enough people at the Huntsville Con
That could
throughout
go
the 3
into it.
days that you'd have enough for a pool of competition?
This is why you need to let them know a year in advance,
Yeah.
so
They're
they can
not
go
working
ahead
Yeah,
and
they're not
start
working out.
out.
They're
Yeah,
not.
but they're not going
But
to.
they
I feel
might.
like that's one of those things that it would work at San Diego and New York Con.
Well, then maybe
the
we
big
could
ones.
host a after hours nerdy speed dating,
Yeah,
because there's lots of single ladies there and there's
Oh,
lots
yeah.
of single guys.
There would probably
be in
Lots.
proportionate. Probably in proportionate.
It'd be first come first serve with an even amount of tickets. put
That's right.
out.
Yeah, if you sell one, you got to sell another. We're not going to have any.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that'd be
I didn't
There's
see
not
sad.
gonna
too many
be
fit dudes, so
17
I didn't
guys.
either. Now I saw
so-
some ladies that were pulling their costumes off pretty good.
there's always more fit ladies than there are fit guys.
That's fine with me.
Well, I mean, but for a contest, it's not.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
right.
But there wasn't many dudes that are like.
So okay, so that's another question. So was that male and female in the one that you
No,
that you
it's
saw?
just two men.
That
Two
was-
men.
but
just
they
two
do
guys.
both now.
You'd have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now they do both.
Yeah.
And you could almost make it exclusively women and maybe have better results.
Oh, you would
You
have.
know, I don't know.
You would
Well, see, I
Pack
wish
it out.
for the
That's what I mean.
cosplay contest that they do now that they would have a men and women's category.
They need to.
Because, yeah.
It's the same thing as any election in high school. It's a popularity contest. Like, why am I going to vote for some dude when there's a chick over there
Yes.
dressed up like insert whatever here, whatever hot comic character or
and
anime
women
or
are
whatever.
more likely to vote for a
Woman.
woman over a dude too.
Think so? Women would vote for women.
I
I
think
don't
it
know.
would.
I
I
feel.
wouldn't be,
I wouldn't
because
say so.
I'm non-biased in that. If it's a costume
I think they
contest, I'm
would.
going for whoever's got the best costume.
Yeah, but
Like mine would have been the Ghost Rider on the bike.
I'll say this though. God, I probably shouldn't say this. Captain America, as good as his costume was, okay, I saw a ninja lady walking around, and I would have been hard pressed to have voted for him after seeing her costume, and it wouldn't have been because of the quality of the costume. I'll leave that to your imagination.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. It's going to muddy the water, you know.
Well, it will.
See, like,
That's where you need. That's where
see,
you'd
like,
almost
I
have to have
would've
a
voted for,
judges
like,
panel.
the,
You know,
Oh, they do.
that's what
yeah,
you.
yeah, they have a
You'd
judge
have to have an unbiased judges
Yeah.
panel.
But they're not unbiased.
So I would have voted for the Ghost Rider
but it
dude.
needs to be.
Just
It's normally
because he
dudes.
went in full
Right.
costume and he had his motorcycle.
Yeah,
so
that's
he went
cool.
like all
Did you get
out.
any pictures of that or nothing? Didn't see
I
that?
didn't
Who
get to do
won?
anything. I was
Oh,
standing
you
over
were at
there.
the-
Some girl.
Of course.
It was not him. I
Look,
think he got second.
Was it? The
It's
Ninja
always
Girl?
like
I don't know who
Ninja
it
Girl
was.
wasn't there Saturday.
I tried to
dang.
watch it on the. So they
The
did a
live stream.
live stream on there, so it was on there, but
Not good enough quality to
no.
really tell.
Look, if you're a dude,
It'll-
you're never gonna win a
Call
costume
it.
contest.
Nope.
It's not gonna happen.
Not
If
at all.
I'm voting and they have a good costume, then they will.
They need to reevaluate the
The
judges
slutty
panel.
chick is
yeah,
winning.
yeah. That's
every
why they
time.
need to have a male category and a female category because it takes no extra time to do one.
Or an even
over the
number of
other.
judges, even like 2 female judges,
That's
2
what I'm
male
saying,
judges,
though,
possibly.
like,
This one
a
they're supposed to
female-
have 3, but somebody didn't show up, so
Yeah.
they had 1 man and 1 woman.
I even feel like the female's gonna vote for the female.
Maybe so.
Over
Maybe
the
so.
male.
I wouldn't,
anyways.
'cause I'd be
you
like-
probably wouldn't, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't, because I'd be like, you put no effort into that. It's just stuff hanging out.
I was
That's
fi-
all
I was
day,
fixing to
every
say-
day,
I was
so there's no
fixing to
effort
say-
in that.
I was fixing to say, yeah, but not many girls like comic books and action figures and stuff like that. But clearly they do because there was a bunch of them at the comic
Well,
convention
so they
this
like
weekend.
anime, and that's what they dress
I
up
guess
like,
that's
so
what it
they do.
was.
well,
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
there's a lot that like comic books. Maybe not so much action figures,
Yeah.
unless it is like anime or
I
something
only like comic
that.
books for the covers. I don't
Yeah.
actually read them.
Yeah.
I think there's
I
probably more
like the
chicks that are into
movies.
comics than there are chicks into action figures, and there's definitely a bunch of chicks who are into Funko Pops.
And the con went further than that, just as far as pop culture. Like, these are Marvel characters that I've seen on the big screen. Like,
Yeah.
that John Walker costume wasn't based on no comic book. He was
No.
doing the MCU
Yeah.
stuff. And
Yeah.
same as that Captain
This
Marvel
is
or
cool
whatever.
too. I don't know why they weren't there.
I didn't see
Saturday.
those
He
people
probably
at
had a
all.
professional appearance the
He
next
might
day or
have,
something.
dang.
He probably had to be back to shoot episode 6.
Yeah.
He's a
He's a
stunt double or
stand-in,
something.
yeah.
Yeah, who knows?
Be
Him
crazy
and the
to
Captain
do
All
that.
right.
Marvel.
Is
All
there
right.
anything else? Because we need to call it.
We
It's
need to call it.
11 o'clock, and we burned 3 hours on technical difficulties. But I think we got that sorted out. So
So y'all
hopefully,
better be watching these podcasts.
Yeah,
'cause y'all don't
geez.
understand.
and I hope this sounds better than maybe it has been. I don't know. Maybe I'm quieter now because the computer's not picking me up or something. But I'm still louder than y'all. I know I am.
We
but,
still don't
I
know
think
what's
you're
going
still
on.
louder than we
yeah,
are.
but that's probably because I'm sitting around. I don't mind.
You love to make love
I
to that
do,
mic.
but that's what they say you're supposed to do. Maybe y'all are not close enough.
Look, I'm pretty
Yeah,
good
but-
ways away from it. Justin said I was just
Oh,
right.
gosh, yeah, but you
I
saved him
was
thousands of
just right.
dollars.
Even
Yeah.
if I did,
I'm
You know
just-
what?
I'm always quiet.
I'm
though,
pretty
so
sure I
don't
can't
know.
take Justin's word on anything anymore. So I don't know. I hope he listens to this one. If nobody else does, you send Justin Hancock a link to this. I need him to hear it.
well, he wouldn't lie, so
Yeah, right.
I'm just
Nah,
right.
I'm just picking at you,
George
Justin.
Washington.
Good on you for selling that book. I'll find it somewhere else if I want it bad enough. I probably don't want it bad enough.
Maybe I'll get it from Hayden.
Yeah, but if you got it from Hayden, you'd want $150 for it. And I don't
Yeah.
want it that bad.
You
so.
wanted it for 140 though.
No, I didn't. Well, if I was trading it out, maybe, but
Yeah.
There you go.
yeah.
So there you
We'll
go.
work something out if I get it.
Okay.
So we decided we are doing the con next year. Philip decided. I
Why?
didn't really have a say in that.
Yeah,
but,
well.
you know.
Well, I mean, we did pretty well.
You know, if it was a vote, it would be 1 for, 1 against. What are you going to do anyway?
I know,
You
right?
Be a tiebreaker, I guess. Well, I vote for because if I get to go back on Friday, then
yeah,
I'm
exactly.
I'm on Philip's side, I guess. Sorry,
Yeah.
Renee.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, we didn't take a lot of stuff, and it
Yeah.
was super easy to set up, and it was super easy to break down, and
Yeah.
we did pretty well for what we had. We
And I
didn't really
think,
have
and I
anything.
think you've realized some things that maybe you should have brought that like some Funkos, some high end Funkos or whatever.
Yeah.
Might would have done all right on
I'm
those.
just gonna bring expensive stuff like
Yeah.
we did at this one.
Okay, we're gonna wrap up after this. But did
Yeah.
y'all bring the Lucy box of Pokemon cards, or
Yeah.
did you did? Did
Yeah.
you do it? Did you sell some of that? Move some of
I
those?
sold $400 worth of those to one dude Saturday.
Good enough then. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's probably
Then-
worth going back, right?
Did 140 in 3 cards too to another guy. So.
Yeah. Oh, it was well worth going back.
Okay.
I mean, we probably
And
did
nobody
like,
has Pokemon cards.
No, they
That's
don't.
why I tried real hard to think what no one had, and
I think that was the
took
big
that.
draw. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then plus, so
Plus, Turbo Man brings them in.
we did
You
well.
come for the Turbo Man, you stay for the Pokemon cards.
Yep.
We did good at the con, and we still had the store open.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
So it helped boost that overall week. That was like,
Yeah.
well, it's worth doing.
and the advertisement that comes with being at the
I'm not
con.
going to do
Yeah.
any other con but the Huntsville con.
Yeah,
That is going to
it's
be
not worth
it.
it.
Yeah.
Unless
Once you
by
add in
something,
expenses.
unless something
Mhm.
crazy happens, and I do get like a bunch of super high-end comics that are like,
Or if
and
we
get
get
graded.
famous and we needed to get on the circuit, you know.
I would do it
Exactly,
then.
exactly.
But
By that
We
time,
could do a
you'll have
podcast panel then next year too.
people do live podcasts.
they
They-
do.
I mean,
they
that's a
needed
big deal.
one at this con.
Yeah,
we
we
could
do.
have
We
done
could
it.
have been the official
You know,
con
there was a guy.
podcast.
not
We've got the
last
equipment.
year, but the year before.
and we figured out
that-
today how to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, right?
What if we'd have
Jeez.
had
There was a
it
guy
and
that
this
set up at
happened
the
there?
2019 one that actually did like live
Yeah.
podcast
See, we could,
broadcast the whole time.
and then we might have got some of
They
those
weren't
guests.
there
They
this
might have
year.
wanted the publicity. Like, well, I'll sit down for a few minutes.
Yeah.
So, Lex Luger,
Yeah.
what? Tell us about Miss
Lou
Elizabeth.
Ferrigno. I try to listen
Did
to
you?
you.
Did you?
What
OD her?
happened? Yeah, what happened to that? What's going on there?
Gave her too many drugs.
What the old macho man think about you?
Kill him.
Bet he didn't like him.
You see my Slim Jim shark?
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
neat.
You actually put Slim Jims in his mouth. He holds them.
That's pretty cool.
I was trying to get the Macho Man one, but he's like
Yeah.
over $100.
Yeah.
All right.
I ain't spending
Okay.
that
We're
yet.
gonna wrap this
Yeah,
up, or we'll
yeah.
Wrap
keep
it
going
up.
for another.
Yep.
30,
We
40
will.
minutes.
We're gonna try to get together another night later this week. I don't know when this video is gonna go up. They make both
Tomorrow.
go up. So no, it won't be
Depends on how
tomorrow
much you gotta take out
because
of
it's got to
Philip.
edit. Yeah, because of
Yeah.
Philip. We always have to edit because of Philip.
Yeah.
Don't edit anything out I say
Yeah,
because I didn't
always.
say anything bad.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Anyways.
Okay.
All right.
Have a good rest of the week.
All right.
Thanks for
Peace.
tuning
We'll do
in.
the same.
See ya.
Bye.